This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA consent is prohibited.
All right, pay attention. Welcome to Fandom 101. We'll cover the tools of the trade from foam fingers in the wave to the super secret wave. How's that for a course description? Lesson 1, your game starts long before the opening whistle, so arrive prepared. 2, if something piques your interest, raise your hand. And 3, work in groups. NCAA championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Get your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access.
This is your ticket to the NCAA tournament.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
We welcome you back to Rams Stadium here in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. Shepherd University Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Shout out to our crew this afternoon. Spencer Dupuy, our on-site producer. Braden Schaffner on camera, along with Matt Miller and Daryl Miller. Down on the sidelines is Dylan Bishop, who's also running a camera for us. And back in the studio, who you'll hear from at halftime, is Colin McLaughlin. Shepherd did win the toss, elected to defer, so they will kick it away to New Haven. And the Chargers are out on the field to return this opening kick. Travis, should be a good one. We'll see that Shepherd defense on the field here first. What are your keys to the game for this matchup? Start with the New Haven Chargers and then move over to Shepherd.
Well, looking at New Haven, what they want to do on the defensive side of the ball is make Shepherd one-dimensional on offense. You want to try to take away that run game and make Shepherd solely rely on that passing game. It sounds counterintuitive that you want to put the ball in the hands of a quarterback the caliber of Tyson Bajan, but that is a way that this team is vulnerable, is that when they start to get over-reliant on that passing game, sometimes they forget one of their best athletes on the field, Ronnie Brown, and that's going to be to New Haven's benefit. The defense is also going to have to tackle well in space. That was something the IUP was able to do well last week, and that's going to be huge for New Haven today. And also for New Haven, they're going to have to steal a big play on special teams. And when they have a guy out there on the field like Terrell Ford, they have a chance to maybe put some points up on special teams, and that's going to be huge for New Haven in today's contest.
All right, we'll get the Shepherd keys when they get the football, as Jacob Haney will kick it away for the Rams. And we are underway from Rams Stadium. Fielded around the 11-yard line for New Haven, out to about the 21-22, and that's where New Haven will take over on his Ford back deep there on the return. He gets it out to about the 21 or so, 22-yard line. We'll see where they officially spot it.
And if Terrell Ford's name sounds a bit familiar, that's because he is a transfer from Clarion. He's a grad student with New Haven and had a monster year returning kicks. 18 kick returns this year for 631 yards, 2 touchdowns, including one that went for 100 yards.
Degenhart in the shotgun formation to begin here from the 21-yard line. He'll take the snap, play action, throws, and nearly intercepted as it bounces short of Clayton Batten. Pass intended for Hazard there on the far side. It'll be second down and 10 for the Chargers.
And again, nothing fancy, just a simple drop back, all hitch to the wide receivers, just trying to get an easy throw early on, but Degenhart just a little bit wide of his target.
Now 2 backs in the backfield here on second down and 10, and Degenhart looking deep down the near sideline and caught, but I don't think he got a foot in. They are saying it's a catch by Dev Holmes. The big play wide receiver averages nearly 21 yards a reception. I don't know, Travis. We had a pretty good look of it here. I did not see him get a foot in, but apparently the official on the near side saw a completion.
Yes, the line judge was the one that came in and made the call on the play. And a big play to start the game for the Chargers.
And the Chargers are coming out throwing the football More of a run-first team traditionally. Degenhart now rolling out to the right, looking over the middle, and incomplete. Intended on the play.
That was Zaire Fernandez.
Yep, Fernandez, the intended target.
A 6'1", 200-pound grad student.
So it's interesting to see as Christopher Ace is in the backfield here on 2nd down and 10 from the Rams' 49-yard line. Or I should say 44-yard line. Degenhart in the pistol formation. We'll give it to Ace for the first time, and he is stuffed on the run. Nathan Muley cleaning it up for Shepherd after Malik Holloway led the way off the edge. So it'll be 3rd and long for Degenhart in the offense.
Also, Christian McDowell coming up hard to get into that pile. And you have a quarterback that has the mobility of a Degenhart. You want to try to establish that run early to show that defense. You want to see how they respond on the edge, most importantly, because that might set up some type of zone read later on in the game where the quarterback pulls it and gets around the edge.
Gain of 1, 3rd down and 9. Degenhart looking over the middle, caught. 1st down, New Haven. It's Fernandez again hauling in the reception. McDowell makes the tackle along with Keyshawn Haley. It'll be a 1st down for New Haven.
Degenhart got a little pressure in his face. The Rams just did a good job of collapsing the pocket, but Degenhart did a good job of standing tall in the pocket, being patient, and finding Fernandez over the middle, who had to climb up top to go bring that one in to convert for a 1st down.
Degenhart can run, like you said, even with the 6'6" frame, but so far we're seeing some good passing from him. Here's a play action. Degenhart looking over the middle of the field and sails it incomplete. He wanted the tight end,
Kevin
Fulch, but it fell incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Fulch doesn't get many catches during the course of the year, but he is a weapon once they get down towards the red zone. He does have 5 TDs on the year to go along with his 21 catches and 183 yards. A big target. And again, New Haven using that play-action pass to try to get that speedy defense out of position so the quarterback can hit a wide-open target.
2nd and 10 from the 27. Degenhart gives to Ace. Decent hole this time. Gets it down to about the 26-yard line, 25. Not much room. Keyshawn Haley coming up and making the tackle. Is that hole closed quickly, Travis?
And I'm surprised that wasn't a penalty. It didn't look like New Haven had enough guys on the line of scrimmage. They only had 6 players on the line of scrimmage that play. The tight end that was lined up away from the trips was kind of lined up in the backfield as a wing, so I'm surprised that they didn't draw a penalty on that play. But good job by the defense. Again, Shepherd's defense very stout in the middle, and they're particularly tough when they're not having to stay out there for long stretches of time.
Ball spotted on the 25-yard line, so it should be about 3rd and 8. Here for New Haven with no backs in the backfield. Degenhart directing traffic. He'll take the snap. Plenty of time to throw. Fires toward the far side, complete for a 1st down to the 10-yard line. Caught on the play by Devin Williams.
That was Dante Harrison coming up on the tackle.
Hauling in that catch was Terrell Ford. And it will be 1st down and goal from the 8-yard line for New Haven. Ace is the back on 1st and goal. Degenhart in the New Haven offense has driven down the field. Dev Holmes, the receiver to the near side, Ford to the far side. And they'll go Ace. Ace finds a hole, gets it down inside the 5-yard line before he's tripped up just short of the end zone. Terrell Lindsay coming up from the secondary, I believe, to trip him up along with Keyshawn Haley. But 2nd and goal now from the 2.
Again, Dev Holmes lined up very wide away from the formation. That's kind of tipping their hand about where they want to go. That time they set it up with a run inside with Ace. Let's see if Dev Holmes goes out to the wide side again. He doesn't. He's to the short side, but he's the only wide receiver outside.
I formation for New Haven. Degenhart will sneak. The 6'6" QB waiting for a signal. I thought he got there, but they are going to mark him just short. You have your 6'6" quarterback being pushed by Cole Modstow, the backup tight end, who lines up at fullback, but couldn't quite get in, so it'll be 3rd and goal from the 1.
And being that tall, trying to run a quarterback sneak down towards the goal line, that may work against you because the goal is you want to try to find as small a crease as you can and get down low and power through. And at 6'6", it's going to be hard for you to get down low.
They might run it again here, though, Travis, and they do. And it is stacked up. He reaches the ball over. Ball came out. It's in the hands of Shepard. It was initially Kyle Smith who came up with it. And then McCoy comes away, but now they're blowing the play dead. But I think he definitely short on that one. He tried to reach it over. I'm surprised that it wasn't ruled a fumble, unless the whistle was already blown.
And we're seeing the transition for that Shepherd D-line this year where they're incorporating a little bit more beef up front. And you look at a big player that's stood out for them this year, and it's been Journey Dunbar, the 6', 307-pound sophomore, got named to the PSAC East second team this year. So he has had a big impact for that defensive unit, giving them a little bit more versatility than what they had last year in these type of situations.
4th and goal from the 1. Degenhardt sneaks again. Waiting for the signal from the official. Touchdown. Touchdown, New Haven. From the inch line, Degenhardt gets in on the 3rd attempt. And it is New Haven 6, Shepherd nothing with 9:20 to go in the first quarter.
New Haven sending a message on that play, calling the same play 3 times in a row, letting them know we're not going to be fancy about this. We're going to get the ball in the end zone. We're going to put the ball in our quarterback's hands and let him make a play. And what it's going to do is going to fire up that offensive line when they're able to go out there and create that kind of space for their quarterback to get that first score of the game. Big adrenaline boost for the New Haven Chargers, able to go out there on their first drive, march right down the field, and get that first score of today's game.
Vincenzo DeSimone will come on and kick the PAT. And even if you don't get it there, I mean, Shepherd's going to have to start from their own goal line.
Yeah.
But if you don't get it there, it also is a big change of momentum. You need to get that one. DeSimone now to attempt the extra point. Good snap, good hold, but the kick is no good. Goes into the Boone Fieldhouse, and our score with 9:26 remaining in the first quarter remains 6-0. New Haven will take a 30-second break. On the other side of that break, we'll continue on the first quarter.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
That's all I can do. They just grabbed out of the parking lot.
We welcome you back here to Rams Stadium. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. 9:26 to go in the opening quarter. It is New Haven 6, Shepherd nothing. Here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Travis, good drive for New Haven. It would have been pretty deflating if you didn't get into the end zone after getting all the way down to the goal line. But the extra point, no good. Still, though, good start for the Chargers.
You can get that ball on offense first, and you're able to march down the field and score a touchdown to begin the game. That's a huge boost for your team. Gives your defense the lead. Now they can go out there and play with a little bit more confidence, play a little bit loose, and go out there and look to make a play.
Here goes Ronnie Brown from inside the 20-yard line. He is stacked up and brought down on the play. Javon George finishing it off for New Haven, and Shepherd will take over. So let's get the keys for Shepherd today, Travis. What do the Rams need to do to get the win?
First and foremost, they have to run the ball early and often. You want to run the ball early in the game because that's going to set up bigger run plays in the second half. Also, it's going to take some of that starch out of that defensive line where they're just not going to be able to pin their ears back and get after the quarterback. Also, for Shepherd, their defense is going to have to win on third downs. This is a very good team for New Haven as far as converting their third downs, and that's going to be an opportunity for that defense. They're really going to have to rise to the challenge and get them off of the field and don't let them extend drives.
Well, play action to begin the game. A pass complete over the middle to Rodney Dorsey. Dorsey out toward the 40-yard line before he stacked up and brought down. Etienne making the tackle That's a good start, I think, as Ryan Beach takes the field here on play number 2. Rodney Dorsey had a few big drops in that game against IUP to get him the ball early, get his confidence going. Definitely a good thing to see here early in the ball game. But Ryan Beach takes the field. We saw him warming up. We knew he was going to give it a go. And he is going to at least play here early in the ball game. We don't know how many snaps, but Beach is out there on first down at 10, and they target Beach, but it falls incomplete. Passes high. In coverage was Devontae Miles.
And that's the thing. He has been slowed by injury this season, and when you have a wide receiver that has his short stature, his range of catching the ball is going to be affected by that injury, and that was something right there. That was a catch probably early on in the season, and he would be able to pull in with no problem. That catch with that pass a little bit high, and he wasn't able to pull it in.
Second down and 10 for Bajent and the Rams. Ronnie Brown is the back to the left of Bajent. They'll send Max Fisher in motion. And Bajent will look to throw again over the middle to a wide open Ronnie Brown, but the pass is off his hand and incomplete. That would have been a touchdown if Bajent could have put that on the money.
Again, another pass a little bit high, and big game situations, you know, it's not unusual for somebody to have the jitters going out there. So.
It is windy, too. You can tell by the flagpole over there. We can't tell because we're actually inside for a game for once, Travis. So.
And I'll take it. No complaints here.
Yeah, definitely not complaining, but you don't get the elements. Third down and 10 with 8:37 to go in the opening quarter. 6-0 New Haven. Bajent throws near side incomplete. Again, it's intended for Beach. And again, it's Miles in coverage. And again, Shepherd doesn't run the ball on any of its first 5-6 plays.
And I understand Shepherd, they like to run a lot of RPO, and they've had tremendous success with it. But at this point in the year, there has to be some type of tag or some type of check where you let them know that we need to run the ball on this play and kind of take that decision away from the quarterback.
Barrick will punt. It's a wobbly punt fielded at around the 20-yard line, and now sliding down on the return is Paul Cooper. So first down and 10 for New Haven, leading 6-0 with 8:24 to go in the first quarter. Slow start for the Rams after a big play to start the game to Rodney Dorsey. Got you out to the 41-yard line, but then the offense stalls out.
And you kind of led me to my next key for the Shepherd Rams today. Have to get off to a fast start on offense. You can't spot a good team a half of football before you start to get your offense in gear. So they have to run the ball early, try to get their offense into a rhythm.
Degenhart throws complete to Folsch out in the flat. Big tight end hauls that one in. It's interesting when you look at the New Haven offense, and in particular the receivers, it's a lot of different guys with a lot of different catches. Holmes is the big play guy. He's got 35 catches, though, for over 700 yards, almost 21 yards a catch. So it's a big play passing attack, not necessarily a big part of their offense consistently, but New Haven is throwing the ball early and often in this game. Here's Ace running big hole to the outside. Christopher Ace tiptoes the sideline into Shepherd territory. Keyshawn Haley knocks him out of bounds, but they're going to say he stepped out actually back at the 42-yard line. So they'll bring that back a little bit, but still a first down run for Ace.
And you talked about the wide receivers not having many catches, but a lot of yards to go with those catches. What that tells you is that they like to use play-action pass. And when you have a running back like Christopher Ace, you see why they like to use that play-action pass, because he is a strong running back. 6 foot, 200 pounds, has over 1,000 yards coming into today's game, averaging 5.8 yards per carry. So that running game and passing game complementing each other early on for the New Haven Chargers.
No backs in the backfield here on 1st and 10. Here's the pass to Holmes complete. Across the 45-yard line. Clayton batted in coverage for the Rams. Bring up second down and short.
And Holmes coming off of a big game last week versus Southern Connecticut State. 3 catches, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Everybody has a big game against Southern Connecticut. It was a close one the first time New Haven and Southern Connecticut State did meet, but that last week, 54-14, I believe, was the final. So it was not a competitive football game between those two schools last week. In the battle for the Elm City, or the Elm City Bowl, I believe they call it. High snap to Degenhart. Pass is complete, but it's met right away by Devin Lynch. His foul.
I believe that's Christian McDowell.
Oh, no, you're correct. McDowell did come up and make that hit.
It's a big size advantage in favor of Folsch, but it didn't matter to McDowell. 5'11", 170-pound sophomore going up against Folsch, the 6'4", 245-pound senior. A good tackling technique that time, and just a tremendous job of taking down the big target out in space.
It looked like a Devin Lynch or a Keyshawn Haley type
The
hit,
way
but
he came
McDowell,
up, yeah.
the younger guy on this defense, one of the younger guys that gets the start, coming up and making a big hit. So 3rd down and 8, that could be what Shepherd needs to maybe fire him up a little bit. Degenhart looking to throw on 3rd and 8. Has time, looking deep down the field for Dev Holmes, and Degenhart just laid it out there too much. Or it could have been a touchdown for New Haven. In coverage was Howard. It'll be 4th down and 8. It's a big stop for the Rams after that slow start offensively in the opening drive going down 6-0.
And that's something that we've seen this year is that teams have had Shepherd in bad spots as far as big passing plays, but you cannot afford to miss on those big plays. You know that Shepherd Rams offense is going to get warmed up. You know they're going to put up a ton of points. So if you have an opportunity to score yourself, you have to make the most of it, and plays like that can come back to haunt you.
Here's a punt bouncing around the 25-yard line. And that was something that Coach McCook stressed to us this week as well, as Dorsey lets it roll inside the 15. He wanted the special teams to field more punts because he felt like a lot of those field position battles were lost because they weren't coming up and fielding the kicks. And here again, Shepherd has tough field position at around the 14-yard line to begin things. 1st down and 10, 5:28 to go in the opening quarter. It's 6-0 New Haven.
And that's a tall order because that's one of the more difficult things you could do in the game of football is fielding a punt. And you look back to last week's game with the wind and the rain, you certainly understand why the guys didn't want to try to come up and make a play on the ball.
Ronnie Brown gets the carry, initially gets stopped, but then he finds some room. Miles comes up, makes the tackle from the safety position. It'll be 2nd down and about 6.
And again, when you run the ball, it just calms the offense down. It gives the offensive line some confidence, kind of helps them feel out the timing as far as their blocks on the defensive line. So just a lot of benefits to running the ball early in the game.
And here's Brown again off left tackle. And there goes Ronnie, hurdling a man around the 30-yard line, and then he's brought down on the play out near the 34. Making the tackle was Quander downfield for New Haven, and will bring up 1st down and 10 for Shepherd.
And you pointed it out in the pregame, very undersized unit in the box for New Haven. You have a big offensive line. All of them were named 1st or 2nd team East PSAC. Ride those big horses up front, let them do the dirty work, and that's going to set up your play-action pass for later in the game. 1st
down and 10 from the 34. Here's a play-action look for Bajan. He'll throw to the near side, incomplete, knocked away. Great play by Guy Jenkins there on the outside. The sophomore, one of the younger players on this New Haven defense, who is led by a ton of seniors, grad students. Jenkins is one of the 3 underclassmen that gets the start, or gets at least significant playing time, I should say.
And Jenkins got a lot of playing time last year. Played in 11 games last year, had 16 tackles, 1 interception. He also had 2 block kicks. So he's a young man that certainly earned his spot on the line.
Bajan takes a snap after the only one ready for the snap was Adam Stilley, and that will be a false start. Or maybe an offsides going against New Haven.
I know they're trying to call it on New Haven, but it looked like New Haven just did a shift at the last second to kind of.
Okay, so they were making signals that made it sound like a snap was wanted from Bajan.
Snap count. Okay.
So
a little gamesmanship from the Chargers.
Only a 5-yard penalty, but it will bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Rams after getting an incompletion on 1st down. Ronnie Brown is the running back for Shepherd. Cam Dorner and Rodney Dorsey are the receivers here to this near side. Marlon Cook to the far side, Brian Walker is in there at tight end. As Bajan lines up in the shotgun on 2nd down and 5 from the 34 with 4:21 to go in the opening quarter. It's 6-0 New Haven. Bajan will hand to Ronnie Brown. Ronnie Brown with a big hole. Ronnie Brown into New Haven territory. Nobody's going to catch Ronnie. Touchdown, Shepherd.
And again, running off of that left side of the offensive line, going behind Wyatt Pelicano and Chandler Brown. I mean, just get him the ball. I mean, at this point in the year, there's no reason to overthink it. He's one of the best players that you have on offense, and you need that 1-2 punch as far as your running game and your passing game. And usually only good things happen when you give the ball to Ronnie Brown, and that's what's going to get the Rams on the board to start the day. And Ronnie Brown, again, just showing that he is just an absolute dynamic running back.
6-6 our score with 4:11 to go in the opening quarter. Haney on to attempt the point after to give Shepherd the early lead. And the kick is up. It's a wobbler, and it is still good. Somehow, some way, Jacob Haney puts it through the uprights. It's 7-6 with 4:11 to go in the opening quarter. We're back in 30 seconds. We welcome you back to Rams Stadium. It is Shepherd 7, New Haven 6, 4:11 to go in the opening quarter after Haney just barely pokes through an extra point. Ronnie Brown with a big touchdown run to get Shepherd on the board. And it looks like it could be a big day for Ronnie Brown based on what we're seeing with those holes opening up against that smaller New Haven defensive line.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to overthink it. Get him the ball. That's going to help you out. Right now, he's making big plays for you, but those runs are only going to get bigger in the second half if you stick with it, and it's going to set up your play-action pass.
Haney boots this one into the end zone, and that will set up New Haven with the football at the 25-yard line. Degenhardt in the offense has had some success early on. Drove all the way down to the 1-yard line before Degenhardt was able to sneak in for a touchdown run on 4th and goal. Then a 3-and-out, well, not a 3-and-out, but a first down, and then a few plays after that. Eventually the drive stalls out around the 40-something yard line. So we'll see how this offensive approach continues. It's been a lot of passes early in the ball game. We were probably expecting a lot more runs from the New Haven side of things, and this time they will try to hand it off, but a miscommunication between Hunter Cobb and the quarterback Degenhardt results in a loss of yardage. Luckily for New Haven, Degenhardt dives back on top of it. Cobb, though, a veteran, a grad student transfer from Marist College. Ace the back here on 2nd and long from the 22-yard line. Second and about 13. Loss of 3 on the play. Degenhardt takes the snap, throws quickly to the far side and incomplete. A bouncer intended for Dev Holmes.
And again, that's the second time that they've tried to throw that pass play. That was the very first play that they called during today's game, just trying to throw a quick hitch. You realize that the corner is going to respect that speed and athleticism on the side, so they're going to play off. So what do you try to do? You try to hit a nice little short completion underneath, and so far it's been a couple of misfires for the Chargers offense, not able to connect on those short hitches.
3:29 to go in the opening quarter. 7-6 Rams. Chargers with it on their 22-yard line. Degenhardt takes the handoff, gives to Ace. Ace has a hole. Trying to get to the outside before he is wrapped up on that far sideline. McDowell again in on that tackle. It's like Pena came over to clean things up, and it will be a punt for New Haven. So a 3-and-out on this drive. It seems like the Rams defense has settled in a little bit after nearly getting that goal line stand.
And again, that mishandled ball on first down kind of put them behind the chains, and that's when that Rams defense really imposes their will when they're able to dictate down and distance. And that time just putting the Chargers in a tough situation to try to run on third down, but wasn't able to get that big chunk that they needed to convert the first down.
4th down and 7. Here's the punt, and it's tipped. So this will put Shepherd with the ball around the 32-yard line of New Haven. Not the start you want for the Chargers on that drive. Just, like you said, the fumbled ball. You missed a touchdown earlier, too, to Dev Holmes.
So the mistakes are starting to pile up for New Haven, and you give the ball on a short porch to a very potent Rams offense. It's going to be a tall order for that Chargers defense to try to get out of here and not give up any points.
Ball on the 32. Ronnie Brown remains the running back. Fisher the receiver to the near side. Marlon Cook to the far. Michael McCook is in at fullback for Shepherd. And McCook will go in motion. Bajan looking to throw on first down and 10. Dumps it down in the flat to Ronnie Brown, who gets smacked at around the 36-yard line.
We've seen the Rams use that play a lot this season. Just a swing pass. It's kind of a swing pass and a screen all mixed into one out to Ronnie Brown. That time the Rams chose to go towards the short sideline. And again, New Haven, we mentioned how they're undersized, but what that also translates into, you got a lot of athletes that can move out there, so they were quick to react to that swing pass and come up, and there was a lot of Chargers tacklers in on that ball carrier, bringing him down, looks like a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
E.J. Morgan in the game now, along with Foray and Fisher. Bajan throws to Alfonso Foray, and he hauls in the catch. Down to about the 26. Short of the first down sticks. Will be third down about 1. To the 23-yard line. Bajan with Ronnie Brown the back.
Also McCook and Walker in the game.
New Haven kind of stacked up at the line of scrimmage. They'll go Ronnie Brown, and he gets stopped. Good job by the Chargers there to
they were able to recognize that personnel group, knowing that Shepherd likes to run behind those two big blockers. And
he only needed a yard, but I don't think he got it. So it'll be 4th and 1. Shepherd will go for it here as the final 48 seconds are rolling off the clock in the first quarter. Shepherd leads by 1. Bajan communicating with his offense. Bajan will go. Ronnie Brown again. He bounces off one tackler. I don't know. It's going to be close. And it's a turnover on downs. Coming up and laying the boom was Damon Burden Jr., I believe. Well, it says that was Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick came up and cleaned it up.
We talked about Fitzpatrick playing that star position, and Ronnie Brown able to break that first tackle. But again, just a very speedy defense for New Haven, and they were able to rally to the football and bring down Ronnie Brown, who's not an easy guy to bring down, especially when he has a little bit of space to work with. McCook had the big kick-out block, but again, the Chargers able to answer that challenge.
Surprising to see Shepherd take over at the 32 and only gain 8 yards on a drive, not getting any points.
Terrell Ford with the catch.
Ford making the catch in the flat. Baden coming over, making the tackle. Final 15 seconds to go in this opening quarter. I believe that will be the final play of the first. Shepherd on top 7-6. It does look like they will take it to the end of the first quarter. And we will take a 30-second break. Shepherd leads here against New Haven 7-6. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 30.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela burns it.
An incredible finish by Hall. The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
Back to Rams Stadium. Shepherd leads New Haven 7-6 as we begin this second quarter. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Spencer Dupuy, our on-site producer. On camera this afternoon, Matt Miller along with Daryl Miller. Braden Schaffner, And Dylan Bishop down on the sidelines, and he has a camera as well. We'll hear from Dylan with Coach McCook at halftime. 2nd down and 4 for New Haven. They're now moving from left to right at the end of the quarter. Degenhart in the shotgun formation. He'll hand it off to Ace. Ace stutter steps, has the first down and more across the 40-yard line. Up to around the 41, Malik Holloway and Dwayne Grantham combined for the tackle.
And Ace has just looked strong so far today. Hasn't got many carries, but been able to do a lot with the ball once he gets it in his hands. They have him listed as 6 foot 200 pounds, but you see him down on the field. He certainly looks like he's outgrown those numbers.
Ace is an ace. Yeah. 1st down and 10 from the 40. Degenhart with a 5-wide set. He'll take the snap. Kyle Smith providing some pressure, throws and into the tight window, but incomplete. Wanted Fernandez on the play. Keyshawn Haley breaks it up for Shepherd. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And Degenhart able to squeeze it into a tight window. Just Degenhart not able to get a clean handle on the ball, and right now it looks like he's trying to clean some of the turf out of his eyes. Pretty sure that's not going to win him any friends in the huddle when he goes back there to Degenhart. He did a good job of delivering an accurate pass on that last play.
2nd down and 10 now from the 40. Ace in the backfield. Degenhart will feed Ace, and he gets a hole. Gets a nice block from the left tackle. Ace is into Rams territory before Keyshawn Haley makes the tackle. It will be a 1st down, but we do have a flag here in the backfield that will bring this one back.
Referee's already signaling holding for the play.
Called on Hazard. The wide receiver getting called for holding.
And that's always tough. Like when you run the ball on the perimeter, you're out that much closer to the referees. You're in space so they can kind of see everything that you're doing. And again, you want your wide receivers to be involved in the run game because that's where you get a lot of your bigger run plays because the wide receivers are doing their job down the field as far as blocking. But sometimes you just risk getting those holding penalties. That's going to kill what was a pretty good run play for the Chargers offense.
2nd and 15 now from the 35-yard line. So we'll see what the Chargers can do to recover, and New Haven wants a timeout. So they'll take a timeout. 7-6 Shepherd on top, 13:45 to go in this first half. And Travis, kind of a quick recap of what's gone on so far in the ball game. As New Haven took the opening drive down to a 4th down and goal before Degenhart was able to sneak his way in. And then following that, Shepherd has a 3-and-out, but gets a stop, and then ends up scoring on a Ronnie Brown long touchdown run. Extra point good from Jacob Haney after DeSimone was not good on his extra point. So it's Shepherd 7. New Haven 6. They have it here 2nd down and 15 from their own 35-yard line.
And what you have two offenses that missed opportunities to put points on the board. You have Degenhart missing the wide-open throw to Dev Holmes, and then you have the Shepherd offense getting the ball after a shanked punt in very good field position and not able to come away with some points. So far, the defenses have made some plays, the offenses have made some plays, and it remains to be seen what type of role special teams is going to play in today's game.
Shepherd also missed a touchdown to Ronnie Brown on a pass. So could be looking at a different score, but our score is 7-6, Rams on top. Degenhart throws to the far side, complete to a leaping Dev Holmes, tackled by Harrison along with Grantham. Be 3rd and manageable after that completion.
Dev Holmes that time mistimed his jump. Whereas if he'd have timed it out, he probably didn't even have to jump to bring that pass in and would have had an opportunity to make something happen after the catch. But again, you pick up a nice chunk on 2nd and long, so that way you're really not faced with a 3rd and long, and that's when the Rams defense is really tough with Holloway and Smith crashing in off the edge.
8-yard pickup makes it 3rd down and 7 for the Chargers. Degenhart is under some heat. He throws it in the flat, complete to his tight end, who falls down short of the sticks, but we're going to have a hold on the Chargers to bring things back.
believe the guilty party is going to be number 75, Neil Brown. Nearly snatched off Malik Holloway's jersey on that play. Certainly got his money's worth on that holding penalty.
It was either. No, it was Justin Searcy. Or Searcy. He looked guilty to me. He was kind of walking around like, I didn't do anything. I didn't hold anybody.
Usually the first lineman that looks back at the referee when there's a holding penalty, that's usually the guilty party.
Neil Brown has never done anything wrong in the state of West Virginia in football. Third down here. And long after that penalty. It would have been a 4th and short. It's a little interesting that Shepherd accepts, but I guess you don't want to risk anything around midfield. You never know. Degenhart on a 3rd down and 16. They'll run ace. I guess that's why Shepherd accepted, as Malik Holloway makes the tackle in the backfield. I'm surprised that, again, that's another time where New Haven went really conservative on a 3rd down, so maybe that's what Shepherd's seen in the film, that they're going to go conservative here and just punt anyway. Only a gain of 1 on the play.
And it's a big game, and usually big games turn with a huge mistake early on in the game, and the Chargers are not really wanting to tempt fate with just, okay, 3rd and long, we'll run, see what we can get, punt, see if we can play some good defense.
Here's the rugby-style kick, and Rodney Dorsey again lets it bounce and goes over his head. And again, it's going to roll inside the 15, all the way down inside the 10, maybe right at the 10 depending on where they spot it, but...
And that's tough because that rugby-style kick, it comes out kind of a line drive. It's kind of a knuckler. It's not going to be easy to field, but when you let that ball roll, you give up some valuable field position.
On a fair catch, too, you have to catch it in the air, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can't let it roll at all on the fair catch. And with that kind of angle and how it is, it's very tough to get to it in time to catch it, but you would like to obviously see the catch here. Shepherd backed all the way up to its own 10-yard line. 1st down for the Rams. Agent play action. Throws in the flat, complete to Max Fisher. Makes a guy miss before he's brought down on the play by Miles. Max Fisher, the NC State transfer, has made an impact for the Rams in his first season as one of the many guys in that kind of rotation, but just a 2-yard gain there. 2nd down and 8 for the Rams with 11:22 and rolling here in this first half. Agent sends Fisher in motion. He'll look to throw. Throws to open Brian Walker across the 30-yard line. Walker dragging defenders out toward the 40 before the whistle is blown. The big tight end is fired up.
Get him down. He gets the home fans fired up. About 5 Chargers defenders that time, and nobody could get him on the ground. He is a load to bring down. And Max Fisher did a good job when he went into motion, did that shallow drag across the middle. And what that did, that created a small gap where Brian Walker was able to sit down in a soft spot of the zone, and Tyson Bajan able to deliver an accurate pass to the big tight end.
Brian Walker has really stepped up this season for Shepherd in the tight end spot. Alex Wetzel was the starter last year, but Walker has just emerged as a really good receiving target. And Cam Dorner was open and had his man beat, but he could not make the catch as it falls incomplete. And Guy Jenkins was the man in coverage.
And Dorner again had inside leverage on the defender, but has had some struggles here the past couple of weeks. Didn't register a catch last week versus IUP. Looking back on the season, had 19 catches for 209 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he is a young player that they've tried to incorporate, but sometimes that consistency still leaves a little bit to be desired.
2nd and 10. He'll run. Is that Hartman or Holly?
That was Hartman.
Okay. And is Blake Hartman on the carry?
Hartman's kind of leapfrog Avon Holly on the depth chart. Coming into today's game, had 49 carries on the season, 367 yards, averaging 7.4 yards a carry and 4 touchdowns. Sometimes just has that extra burst that Holly doesn't have, although Holly has had a tremendous season as well.
3rd down and 7 for the Rams from the 44. Major with time Throws to Dorner. This time he makes the catch and makes some guys miss after the play. Has the first down for Shepherd. And good to see Cam Dorner haul one in. ETN in on the tackle along with Vitale. And it will be a first down, Rams into New Haven territory to the 42-yard line.
Tyson Bajan again showing off that tremendous arm strength, able to squeeze it into a tight window, and good job by Cameron Dorner. Coming back, working across the middle of the field, finding that soft spot in the zone and reeling in the catch.
Agent now with a 1st and 10. They'll run Ronnie Brown, and he doesn't find much room. Maybe gets back. Gain of 1 on the play. Jason Trifunder on the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Triumphant, one of the bigger guys up front for that Chargers defense, 6 foot, 295-pound sophomore.
2-yard gain on the play. We 2nd down and 8 with 8:50 to go in the first half. Bajan again looking to throw. Throws underneath, complete to Max Fisher, who leaps up, makes that catch, and then Fisher gets hit hard by ETN around the 31-yard line. It'll be about a yard short of the first down sticks. Bring up 3rd down for the Rams in about 1.
That's something, and there's a fair amount of size for that Chargers defense, particularly with their defensive backs. So far, they've done a good job of being physical with those wide receivers, kind of rerouting them, making them take the underneath passes. But the Rams, patient and calculated to get the game going today.
3rd down and 1. McCook going in motion. Bajan fakes the Ronnie Brown, throws complete to Dorner, and he has the first down.
That's showing a lot of confidence in the young wide receiver. Dropped that first pass that came his way, but the offensive coordinator nor has the quarterback shied away from going back to him, and Dorner has proven their confidence correct, able to bring in a couple of big catches here on this drive.
And it doesn't look like, Travis, based on what we've seen here early, that we're going to see much more of Ryan Beach today. He gave it a go early in that first quarter, but we haven't seen him since. It's not worth the risk, in my opinion, unless he is 100%, and you can tell he's not quite there yet. 1st down and 10 here from the 27. Bajan takes the snap. All day again to throw. The Chargers got to get more pressure on Tyson Bajan if they want to have success. There's Ronnie Brown inside the 20-yard line. If you give a veteran quarterback like that this much time, it's just too easy for him. Eventually somebody's going to get open.
And especially when one of your checkdowns is Ronnie Brown, who's proven to be a very dangerous receiver out of the backfield.
2nd down for the Rams, coming up on 7 minutes to go. 8-yard gain on that play. And the Rams are back quickly on the ball. New Haven running on its substitutions defensively. Bajan goes Brown this time, gets a good carry inside the 10-yard line. 1st down, Shepherd. Ronnie Brown carving through that New Haven defense.
And you can tell he was looking to bounce it outside after he broke through that initial defensive line rush. Was looking to bounce it outside, but again put his foot in the ground and went north and south, and that's something that we've seen him develop throughout this year, just that maturation process at the running back position is sometimes you want to bounce it outside, but you have to be patient, take what the defense gives you, you keep it in between the hash marks, and pick up those tough yards.
1st down and goal from the 8. McCook goes in motion. Bajan gives Brown again. Brown stutters in the backfield and again falls forward for a few yards. Will bring up 2nd down.
And you mentioned it, Nick, just that small thing of just falling forward. It just, over the course of a game, it just begins to wear on the defense. Your offensive line gets confidence from it. Your running back gets confidence from it. And it's only going to help out your entire offense when you're able to have that sustained running attack early on in the game, because it's going to set up play-action pass. It's going to slow down the pass rush because those guys are tired of having to fight off those big offensive linemen. So just a lot of benefits can come out of the running game that sometimes don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet.
2nd and goal from the 5 now for Bajan in the offense as Rodney Dorsey goes in motion. Bajan takes the snap, will look to throw. Bajan throws to the back of the end zone for a leaping Max Fisher, but it falls incomplete. He couldn't get a foot in. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 5.
Jenkins on the defense and wasn't able to go up with the big Fisher, but what he was able to do was push his feet out of bounds. So just a veteran move from the sophomore, locking up on the big Max Fisher.
So 3rd down and goal from the 5. Shepherd on a pretty long drive as well, with this good balance of run and pass. This is what we've seen from this team when it's been the most successful. The Rams will use a timeout here. So both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. It's still only 7-6, but it does feel like Shepherd's starting to get control of this football game with a lot of time to go before halftime, Travis.
And again, just Shepherd, just the confidence that they've had throughout this season going up against tough opponents. Started out the year going against teams like Kutztown and Cal PA and able to pull out tough wins on the road versus Kutztown, pull out a tough win at home versus Cal PA. And that's what you want when you schedule those type of teams early on in the season, is because it's going to give you that much confidence once you get into postseason play that you can go out there and do the things that you're really good at and not have to panic if some things break against you. So right now the Rams just showing that class and that veteran leadership that they've been able to build up over the past couple of seasons.
Yeah, and that was what was missing last week, which is weird to see because we've seen Shepherd play in so many close games over these past few years, and it just seemed like last week they were in a funk for whatever reason. Ryan Beach is on the field here on 3rd down and goal from the 5. So his day is not done. Beach in the slot to the near side along with Cook. Agent throws for Marlon Cook, and it's knocked away. Good coverage by Christian Ace. It'll be 4th down and goal now from the 5, and what does Shepherd do? Looks like it's going to run on the field goal unit. So a successful drive for the most part, but then New Haven gets that stop to really change, I guess, the complexion of the game, because if Shepherd goes up there, 14-6, and the way the defense has been playing and the way the offense looked on that drive for the majority of it, you can feel the change in the game. But now only a 10-6 game if Haney's able to put this through. And he is able to not put it through. So the other one that looked like more of a miss than that one did, but that one was wide right, I do believe, and no good. So, wow, that really does change the complexion right there.
Again, both teams having opportunities and both teams missing to cash in on those opportunities. And now New Haven has some new life that the defense was able to go out there, stiffen up in the red zone, and get the ball back in the hands of their offense. And right now the offense, they can get back to what they do well. That's run the football, not having to force the issue and try to push passes down the field. That's going to open up their quarterback to take big hits from players like Malik Holloway and Kyle Smith.
It's only like a 23-yard field goal, but Haney couldn't put it through the uprights. And now it's 1st down and 10.
And that's a tough angle. You're that close to the field goal post. You're on the right hash. You have a right-footed kicker, so that means he's going to have to try to hook it back across to get it through the upright. So as far as the distance, not a big distance, but just a tough angle for a kicker to hook it in like that.
So loss on the penalty out to the 15-yard line. That's where.
And again, New Haven not doing themselves.
New Haven has it.
Yeah, they're not doing themselves any favors on 1st down, but a couple of miscues that's backed them up and got them behind the chains.
So 1st down and 15 with 5:14 to go. Cobb is the back in the backfield for New Haven. High snap and a penalty flag comes in here again.
Safe false start on Dev Holmes.
And these penalties really hurting. The good thing, I guess you can say, is that it's only 1st down to get these penalties for New Haven, but you're already now backed up to a 1st down and 20. All the way back to the 10-yard line.
And that time Clayton Batten was up in press coverage. Dev Holmes knew that he had to make a move to get off the line because the Rams safety was starting to rotate away. So Holmes wanted to get inside of that press coverage and attack upfield, but that time just got out of the blocks a little bit early and cost his team another 5 yards.
1st and 20. There's Cobb on the carry, and he finds a few yards, gets back to about 2nd and 15, 2nd and 16 here after the carry. Kyle Smith there to make the tackle. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Shepherd on top, 7-6. Second down and 16 now from the 14-yard line. Degenhart with no backs in the backfield. He'll roll to the near side. Look for a wide open man, and Hazard, who has the first down, he's knocked out of bounds by McDowell, who smartly doesn't really hit him too hard out of bounds. He kind of had to make contact, but doesn't draw a penalty there. But it is a first down for New Haven with the Hazard reception. Move the ball to the 37-yard line. So you get from a 1st and 20 to a first down and 10. Cobb remains the back in the backfield. They'll feed him here on 1st down and 10, and the bigger back gets it down to about or up to the 40-yard line. Dwayne Grantham along with Muley and Bednarski in on that tackle.
In a split zone run look that time for New Haven. Sending that blocker to the backside of the play, and the running back is pushing it over here to the right side. So what that does is give you the opportunity. If the hole's there, you go ahead and hit it. But if it's not there, you have that blocker working backside, so it gives you that opportunity to play on the ground and cut back against the grain of the defense.
Just a 3-yard pickup, but that will make it 2nd down and 7. Degenhart throws complete to Ace in the flat. Dwayne Grantham knocks him out here around the 46-yard line. It'll be 3rd down for New Haven. After the Haney missed field goal, New Haven took over, had some penalties, and now have gotten out close toward midfield to the 47-yard line.
And Ace
the 43-yard line.
And Ace doesn't get a lot of targets out of the backfield, only 9 catches coming into today's game, but he does have 2 touchdowns on the year.
3rd down and 4. Degenhart throws to the flat again and caught. Tackled by Grantham is Dev Holmes for a first down. Interesting matchup there. The 5'9" speedy Holmes. I mean, Grantham is a quick linebacker, don't get me wrong, but
that's not the matchup that you want.
No, not typically.
Not on the edge. So good job that time by New Haven using their formation to get that personnel matchup that they want to take advantage of. And Dev Holmes versus a linebacker, you're going to take that matchup more times than not.
Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Out to the 48-yard line. 1st down and 10 for Degenhart, who takes the snap and has time. Kyle Smith comes off the edge and brings him down. He beat the left tackle with a great move to get the sack. It'll be 2nd down and long. Kyle Smith, the veteran, coming off the edge and doing what he does best.
And the lineman that had a tough assignment on that play was James Bozak, the 6'2", 315-pound redshirt sophomore. So right now we've seen a couple different faces rotated in at that left tackle spot, so they're not sure if that's part of the plan for New Haven, or perhaps they're dealing with some injuries, having to rotate in. This is their 3rd left tackle so far in today's game.
2nd down and 18 for New Haven. Pass is thrown and incomplete, intended for Ford here on the near side. Now all of a sudden it's a 3rd and 18, so it was a positive drive, but sacks can really hurt a drive along with penalties, and there you see Kyle Smith come off that edge and get the sack and drop back the Rams to the 41-yard line, or I'm sorry, the Chargers to the 41-yard line with 2:02 to go in the first half. A 7-6 lead for Shepherd. Degenhart. Smith coming again on the pressure. There's a dump down in the flat to the tight end, Fulch, and he is tackled at around the 45, well short of the first down sticks. Timeout called, I believe, by Shepherd here with 1:52 to go. And the Rams will have 1 timeout remaining, a 1-point lead as the punt unit comes on.
And New Haven, no, the coach waved off the punt unit. So you might want to see what the Rams are going to do, but right now he's out on the field talking to his quarterback, not sending out the punt unit.
I guess it's not too far, but I don't know. You don't want to turn it over here on 4th down. But again, you pretty much had a turnover on 4th down on a punt that was blocked at around the 32, and Shepherd only gained 8 yards on the drive. So maybe you feel pretty good about your defense here, and it's 4th and manageable. You like what you can draw up, and you go for it. We'll see here how New Haven plays this. Now I think they are going to punt. Yeah, punt unit on the field now for the Chargers, but there was a moment of hesitation from New Haven.
I mean, you got the timeout, and it doesn't hurt to sit and think about it and see if your coordinators can come up with any good ideas, something that you feel might be able to break through.
High snap, but the punt is a pretty good one. Rodney Dorsey does make the fair catch. And Shepherd will take over.
That was a tough punt to field. It didn't have a lot of spin, kind of a knuckleball coming off of the punter's foot. And Dorsey doing a good job of not allowing that ball to get behind him, giving the offense a bit better starting field position.
1st down and 10 from the 45-yard line for Shepherd. 1:46 to go in this first half of play. It is the Rams leading 7-6. Right before halftime, Ronnie Brown is the running back for the Rams to begin this series. Bagent. There's the Dorner again, another catch for Cam Dorner. He gets out across the 26-yard line before he's tackled on the play. Tackled on the play by Mazan Walker, the defensive lineman, tackling a receiver downfield. 2nd down and 5, excuse me, for the Rams. Bagent throws in the flat, complete to Ronnie Brown. Brown making people miss. Taking him to dance lessons before he's tackled on the play. There's Fitzpatrick coming up to make that hit.
You talked about Walker, listed at 5'9", 255 pounds, the grad student coming over from Albany University, where he played for the Great Danes.
Under a minute to go. Shepherd has 2 timeouts as that last timeout was taken by New Haven. There's Dorner making the catch and running out of bounds. 50 seconds left. Excuse me, Shepherd did take that timeout earlier. 1 timeout for Shepherd, 2 timeouts for New Haven.
And Ronnie Brown over there lobbying with the officials where he went out of bounds, and they marked the ball
short,
a couple of yards short.
Down.
Yeah, they marked the ball a couple of yards short from where he felt he went out of bounds, and that's going to bring up a punt for the Rams offense. Just a little bit of miscommunication on that sidelines.
Here's the punt from Barrick. It's a low kick. It bounces and fielded by Holmes at around the 34-yard line. That's where he'll take over with his offense. But, yeah, it did look like Cam Dorner had got into the sticks, but also I was a little confused with how Shepherd was playing that drive because it seemed like a lot of time was rolling off the clock and there wasn't much urgency from the Rams offense. You know, with this unit, I know today's been a little bit of a slow offensive day, it seems like, but Shepherd typically plays that pretty aggressive to get the ball with over a minute to go and, you know, the best player in the nation at quarterback. But now with 41 seconds, depending on how New Haven wants to play things, they have good field position here from the 34, 1st down and 10. And they've only attempted 4 field goals all season. And the long, I believe, is 32 yards, so they're not necessarily the strength in the kicking game. But you could still potentially get a score or at least a shorter attempt, and maybe you feel good enough about it. Kyle Smith, though, is trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Again, Smith coming off the edge, this time off the near side.
Kyle Smith is looking at the referees like wondering, like, what do you have to do to get a holding penalty? And the way the offensive lineman grabbed him, he had a case for a horse collar tackle on that play, too. Goodness gracious.
And Kyle Smith has really made an impact early on this game. 1 sack, he's coming off the edge and providing a lot of pressure on the New Haven offensive line, and that's with just 3 guys blitzing here from the D-line with the time and score, and they'll run ace this time, and Smith comes up, makes the tackle along with Grantham.
And New Haven, according to the scoreboard, still has 2 timeouts in their pocket, so it's a pretty smart move as far as like running the ball, like you mentioned, going up against the light box, only 3 down linemen, so maybe you can pop off a big run and you still got an opportunity to call a timeout if you want to.
Final few seconds of the first half rolling off the clock. Degenhart will try to throw. He'll throw it over the middle, complete across midfield. Caught by Hazard at around the 44-yard line. They'll call a timeout with 1.6 seconds. Again, we talked about it. There's no Justin Tucker on either of these two teams, so you're going to see a Hail Mary shot here. But you got that 1.6 seconds. You got some pretty good athletes at your wide receiver position. I like the decision here for New Haven to chuck one up toward the end zone.
And again, just a conservative approach, but it's been paying off for them so far. They ran the ball, and most teams would think that you would probably try to pass on that previous play. Then they come back, get a big play over the middle. They move the chains, and that's going to stop the clock initially. You call a timeout, and now you give your team a chance to maybe take a shot towards the end zone. Now I'm curious to see how they're going to line up. Are they going to put Dev Holmes isolated by himself? Or do you put him in a group and maybe he doesn't run directly down the field? Maybe he tries to break across the middle of the field and you get him the ball short of the goal line and see if he can make a play with the run after the catch to punch it in. But Dev Holmes lined up all by himself. That play, Payne is going to get the initial assignment up on the line of scrimmage, but also safety playing over the top. So Dev Holmes is certainly attracting a lot of attention in this Hail Mary attempt.
Both these teams typically score a lot of points. Kyle Smith bringing the pressure on Degenhart, and he gets the sack to end the first half. No chance at a Hail Mary with number 11 in the game. Kyle Smith, you are a beast in this first half.
And again, this Rams defense, that's when they really shine. When you put them in a position where they can just pin their ears back and get after the quarterback. They have two premier pass rushers in Holloway and Smith. And again, Smith just rising to the occasion, getting after the quarterback and just disrupting that Chargers offense.
All right, looks like Dylan is standing by with Coach McCook, so we'll send it down to Dylan and hear from the coach.
All right, down here on the field with Coach McCook. It's been tough for either team to get points on the board so far. How do you change that in the second half, get your offense going?
We just got rhythm and make plays. We got to do what we're coached to do, come out and make plays. Defense playing outstanding. Two good football teams. We knew they were good on defense, knew it would be a tough sled. We just got to keep grinding.
It's tough playoff football out here. How do you get their team? What do you tell them? Keep them in the right mindset for the second half.
Just stay focused and stay locked and don't panic. Come out and play your game.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Nick Travis, back to you.
Thank you, Dylan, as we will take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll have the Mansion Freddie Law Firm halftime show, which we will have the same stream. Sorry if I was thinking we have several different streams, so it won't be the Mansion Freddie halftime show this week, but we'll keep it with the same stream here. 7-6 our score, Shepherd on top. Coming up here on halftime. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 2 minutes.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
I picked Shepherd University because I'm not just a number.
One of the things that surprised me is how friendly everyone is.
I like being able to walk down the street and have the professors recognize me by name.
I'm constantly learning.
But it also has taught me so much about myself and about what I want to do with my future.
The location at Shepherd is amazing.
Cities like Washington, D.C., Baltimore are only about an hour and a half away.
You just got to see it. Once you see it, it just takes your heart.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela burns it.
An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
We're at the half. Time for a scoring recap, stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV 10 broadcast team.
Welcome you into halftime. Our score here at the half, Shepherd 7, New Haven 6. Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith. Travis, what are some takeaways for you from the first half?
Well, just a tight game, and you're going to certainly understand it. A lot on the line for both ball clubs, and both teams not wanting to make that big mistake early on in the game that's going to put you in a hole. New Haven comes out, and they've shown you what they can do well. They have talent on the outside. They also have a good running game. They've had some consistency to start the game on offense, but then that Rams defense was able to get settled in and get a foothold. And again, the Rams able to come out not so much on that first drive, but really started to rely on that running game, and that gave them a spark early on. But right now, both defenses seem to be playing their butts off today. They're making those adjustments and making things difficult on the offensive units, and it's been a bend but don't break mentality so far for both defenses, and both of these teams are evenly matched. Kind of different styles as far as the defenses go. As New Haven likes to keep it light in the box and use a lot of misdirection and stunts, and the Rams, it's just classic Rams defense so far, with Kyle Smith leading the charge. He's really putting his stamp on today's game.
Yeah, you could definitely argue that Kyle Smith could be the player of the game here for the first half, based on how he's gotten after the quarterback, especially in that second quarter. It just seemed like any time the Chargers got anything going offensively, there's Kyle Smith or there's a penalty, and that really hurt in that first half of play. So despite all that, though, New Haven is right in this ball game at 7-6, and the kicking game has made an impact. We talked about kind of where's the special teams going to come from. Well, it's came in the kicking game with the extra point being missed and the field goal being missed by Jacob Haney, or we have a little bit of a different game.
Absolutely. Don't forget about the shanked putt for New Haven that gave Shepherd the ball on a short porch, but they weren't able to do anything with it. And right now you just see that both teams are playing kind of tight, not wanting to make that big mistake to start the game and put themselves in a hole. But I believe that they're going to come out, and both teams are going to be a little bit more relaxed. Those jitters are going to be out of the way, and it's going to be very interesting to see who's going to make those adjustments that's going to result in some big plays out there on the field.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to where you see that aggressiveness at the right times. I mean, we have seen it a few times here and there. We saw New Haven go for it on a 4th and goal from the goal line, essentially. But if you don't go for it there, what does that really say about your team? And then if you can't get it, a lot of coaches would say, well, we couldn't get that, so how do we believe that we deserve to win this ball game? And I think that's kind of how you got to look at it here for the second half. Where will the big plays come from, and who makes those big plays? Because there haven't been too many mistakes in terms of turnovers to be the difference maker yet, but we've seen a few mistakes here and there that could play a key factor. But at the half, Shepherd leads 7-6. We don't have the stats yet for you, so hopefully we'll have that after Colin speaks to you on the other side of this break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We'll send it to Colin, and then we'll be back here for the second half.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours. In NCAA ours.
On my team, I thrive to work as hard as I can. I mean, whatever you do on the field, there's a positive correlation to whatever else you do, be it personal relationships, homework, the way you carry yourself. I've changed since I got to King University. It's really helped me to develop as a leader. I think it's honestly the best thing that's ever happened.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person, and we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades.
Welcome in to the Halftime Scoreboard Show. I'm Colin McLaughlin for TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. At the half between Shepherd and New Haven, the Rams on top of the Chargers by a score of 7-6 at Ram Stadium in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. Let's get some other scores for the first round of the NCAA Division II playoffs, and let's look in Super Region 1 as going on right now. Also at halftime, it is Slippery Rock on top of the 3-seeded Assumption by a score of 17-7, and it's the winner of that game that'll play the winner of Shepherd and New Haven. Let's keep it in Super Region 1 and take a look at Ashland and Notre Dame, Ohio in the first round. 10:33 to go in the first quarter, so just getting underway as it kicked off at 1 o'clock. It's Notre Dame of Ohio on top of Ashland 3-0. Also in the first quarter with kickoff at 1 p.m., 9:06 to go in the first. It's number 2 Ferris State leading Davenport 6-0. With 7:24 to go in the first, it is Minnesota State and Wayne State tied at 0-0. 5:55 to go in the first. Wingate leads number 4 Virginia Union 7-0, and kicking off at 2 p.m. it's Winona State at Bemidji State, CSU Pueblo at Colorado School of the Mines, Fayetteville State at Delta State, Northwest Missouri State at Duchita Baptist, and University of Indy at Pittsburgh State, and Limestone at West Florida. Those are your games for today. Let's now get into NCAA Division I action. Kicking off at 2 p.m., the West Virginia Mountaineers take on the Kansas State Wildcats, and at 6 p.m. tonight, the Marshall Thundering Herd take on Georgia Southern. Let's get some Division I scores. In the top 25, 7:24 to go in the third. It's Navy on top of number 20 UCF, 17-14. 4:03 to go in the second. Number 3 Michigan leads Illinois 7-3. Minute 52 to go in the second. Number 4 TCU's tied with Baylor at 14 apiece. 3 minutes to go in the second. Number 8 Alabama leads Austin, PA 14-0. 6:59 to go in the second. It's number 19 Florida State leading Louisiana 28-0. Those are your scores for the top 25 action currently going on. Some high school football scores in the Mountain State Class AAA. Yesterday, number 1 Parkersburg South got the 58-14 win over number 8 Musselman. They move on now to take on Hurricane, who defeated George Washington yesterday 56-28. 2 games today in Class AAA featuring Eastern Panhandle teams. Kicking off at, I believe, 1:30. It's number 2 Huntington hosting number 10 Jefferson, and then tonight at 7:30, it is number 3, your Martinsburg Bulldogs, hosting number 6, the Bridgeport Indians. We'll have that game for you on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube. Pregame at 6:30, kickoff again at 7:30 for Martinsburg. Is right now Shepherd on top, 7-6 over New Haven. That'll do it for the halftime scoreboard show. We'll take another 2-minute break, and on the other side of that break, it'll be Nick and Travis ready to give you the second half in Shepherdstown at Ram Stadium.
Being a champion takes more than skill. More than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
College sports fans, get ready for game day with officially licensed merchandise from the NCAA official online shop, ncaa.com/shop. Get the whole family geared up with the best collection of apparel and accessories, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, headwear, championship gear, and more. Visit the NCAA shop for today's special offer and rep your favorite team now. Only at ncaa.com/shop.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access.
This is your ticket to the NCAA tournament.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
We welcome you back to Rams Stadium. Our score here at the half, Shepherd 7, New Haven 6. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Spencer Dupuy, our on-site producer. Braden Schaffner on camera along with Matt Miller and Daryl Miller. And down on the sidelines is Dylan Bishop. He's also running a camera for us. And Kyle McLaughlin back in the studio doing a great job as always. Let's get into some halftime stats, with the Rams on top 7-6, and the rest of the numbers are pretty even as well. First downs in favor of New Haven by 1 at 8-7. Shepherd has gotten, though, a good day on the ground. 8 carries for Ronnie Brown for 97 yards. Blake Hartman with a carry for 3 yards. Brown with the big 61-yard touchdown run, the difference in this ball game. The two teams' quarterbacks, veteran quarterbacks, and the grad student and Degan Hart and the senior and Tyson Bajan. Bajan 12 of 19 for 104 yards in the first half. No sacks. Degan Hart 14 of 22 for 143 yards. He was sacked twice by Kyle Smith. In the receiving game, interesting numbers here at the half when you look at the Shepherd side of things. Ronnie Brown has the most receptions with 4 for 12 yards. Cam Dorner is second there with 3 for 24. Max Fisher is third for 2 for 15. And Brian Walker is just 1 catch for 24 yards. So probably the two biggest receivers on the Shepherd side of things heading into this ball game. Marlon Cook and Brian Walker have combined for just 1 catch for 24 yards. That's definitely interesting to see here at the half. And, of course, Ryan Beach dealing with an injury. Definitely not 100%. They're just kind of using him as a decoy, it seems like, in this first half. But it's weird to see those two guys without any real big impact in the game.
And that was kind of a big question from last week's game up at IUP. Marlon Cook in that second half of the game was not playing as much as he did in the first half. So, you know, it's a long football season, a lot of wear and tear on those bodies, so you're not sure if it's just those nagging injuries that finally caught up to him. And it's unfortunate that it's happened at this point in the season. But like we mentioned, there's a lot of talent on that perimeter for the Shepherd Rams, so it's a situation where some of those other guys are going to have to step up and make plays. And also you got to take your hats off to a good defensive game plan by New Haven, not allowing those big targets to get open. There's been some stingy defense out there on the edge and really not giving Cook any type of looks. Like we mentioned, Ryan Beach coming out, he just hasn't been himself all year long, and it seems like those injuries have really just kind of hindered his game. And when you have a wide receiver who's 5'6", 165 pounds, he has to play at 100%.
Yeah.
Like they're like you really can't go out there and try to tough it out. It's not a question of heart. It's a question of physics. You're 5'6", 165 pounds. You're limited in what you're going to be able to bring to on the football field when you're not able to go out there and run around as fast as you did previously. Brian Walker, again, had that big catch over the middle, but when you go up against a team that has that 3-3-5 stack that they're playing so far, they have a lot of athletes that are posted up right there in between the hash marks, so it's really going to make it tough for a tight end, a traditional tight end, to try to get open and catch those passes down the seam. So just a good defensive game plan by New Haven, and they've really made it difficult on that Rams offense.
On the New Haven side of things, the passing game looks pretty similar to what we've seen coming in. Dev Holmes, 4 catches, 54 yards. Hazard, 2 catches, 40 yards. Ford, 2 catches, 24 yards. Those are your leaders. Defensively, the two teams, Keyshawn Haley leads the team in tackles for Shepherd with 5. Kyle Smith with his 4 tackles and 2 sacks. Dwayne Grant from 4 tackles. Harrison with 4 tackles as well. Vitale with 6 tackles for New Haven. Miles with 5, 4 for ETN, and 3 for Fitzpatrick. And for Shepherd, again, we talk about the receivers. If there is a position group where Shepherd can either have guys injured or maybe not as much production as you normally see from them, it is wide receiver. That is where this team typically already gets a bunch of different guys in the ball game and uses them to some capacity. So if Cook and Walker aren't having a big game, you do have guys like Cam Dorner, Max Fisher, Alfonso Foray, the list goes on and on. Rodney Dorsey has stepped up, E.J. Morgan at times this year. So there's a bunch of guys out there that can do things for you, and a lot of that's on Tyson Bagent's ability as a quarterback, that as long as those guys are finding ways to get open, he can deliver the football to them and make them look good. Not that they're not good players, but he can bring the best out of them, I guess I should say. And that's kind of been what Shepherd's had all year. But still, there's a reason Marlon Cook's been the number 1 receiver, and there's a reason Brian Walker's been kind of the number 2 guy at tight end. It's because of their talent levels and what they're able to do with the football in their hands.
And that's a big ask of guys that didn't get a lot of repetitions throughout the course of the year to come in and really step up and shine in these type of pressure situations, because you really need to rely on your superstars. And like you mentioned, Tyson Bagent, that's one of his many strengths, is his ability to distribute the ball around the field so defenses really can lock in on a particular wide receiver or try to limit the Rams offense in that type of way. But again, at this point in the year, you need your studs to really come through for you, and so far that hasn't been the case for that Rams passing game. But also a couple of guys that we failed to mention in that passing game, Blake Hartman and Ronnie Brown. They're also very capable receivers out of the backfield. So like we mentioned, a host of guys that can step in and fill that role. The question remains is who's really going to step up and take that leadership role with the big guns not firing on all cylinders so far.
Well, Shepherd does get the ball to start the second half, so maybe why we didn't see Shepherd be as aggressive as it typically is at the end of the first half was where they had the ball, and maybe they felt like it would be smarter just to wait to the second half, and they were able to do that here. So the Rams will get it to start the second half, up by 1 at 7-6. Ronnie Brown will field from around the 6-yard line. Ronnie Brown's got some room here to the near side, gets a block. Ronnie across the 30-yard line before he high steps his way out of bounds into New Haven sideline, where he get greeted by some friends over there. Musa Headway, letting him know.
He's never too shy to chat up an opposing player.
He says that they started.
Yes.
Ronnie Brown, definitely one of the most exciting players to watch in Division II when he gets the football in his hands. First down and 10 for the Rams here from the 35-yard line. Bagent in the shotgun formation with 2 receivers to the far side, and Marlon Cook here the near. Rams start the second half with a give to Ronnie Brown, who finds some room up the middle.
Good push up front. Good push up front.
Yeah, Adam Stilley doing a nice job there from the center position. Gets across the 40-yard line before Brown is knocked down.
And again, that's not one of the strengths of the Shepherd Rams offensive line. They're not big maulers. They're not going to blow people off the ball. They're more skilled and athletic and do a very good job of climbing up to the second level and getting on linebackers. But on that play, just able to impose that size advantage and pick up a big chunk on first down.
There's Ronnie Brown again, and this is a big chunk and more into New Haven territory. Shedding off tacklers down inside the 30-yard line. Goes Brown for the Rams. To get up, and he is fine and will head to the sideline on his own power. Blake Hartman will check into the ball game. Brown down to the 28-yard line.
It looks like he just ran out of gas a little bit there towards the end. Remember, he was the one that returned the kick, and then the very first play, he runs the ball hard, run up the middle. Those big legs are burning up a lot of oxygen, so he needs to go up on the sidelines and catch his breath, and Blake Hartman can step in and possibly get a carry on this play.
And they will go Hartman. First down 10, and Blake Hartman establishes himself inside the 25-yard line. Tackled on the play by Miles. Good block from Wyatt Pelicano downfield.
And those lanes have been there all day. Those defensive linemen have had a difficulty shedding those blocks and getting into the gaps. And one of the things you want those defensive linemen to do, especially when you're only using 3, you want them to try to occupy as many offensive linemen as possible and let those linebackers run around and make plays. But right now, the defensive line not able to do that.
Beach is in the slot. They'll throw to Walker quickly, and Brian Walker lowers his shoulder. It's tackled by a bunch of New Haven players. Damon Burden in there for New Haven, along with Fitzpatrick and Miles. It's a first down and 10 now for Shepherd after Walker picks up the first down.
Just a quick pitch and catch on that play, nothing too fancy. The defense is playing off, so no reason to try to fight against the grain. Just a quick throw out to your tight end and let him rumble for a couple of yards.
Looks like it almost surprised Brian Walker, so I'm not certain if that was exactly what was designed, but Bajent went to it, and it worked out for the Rams. First down 10 for the 17. Bajent pumps once, throws toward the end zone. A shot for Cook and incomplete.
Good defense that time by Christian Ace. The 6'1", 200-pound sophomore defensive back did not bite on the pump fake. We know that Shepherd likes to do that, particularly in the second half. They established those bubble screens early on in the game, enticing that defense to come up hard to try to tackle. And that time, New Haven not taking the bait, and Ace does a good job of sticking with the wide receiver down the sideline.
The pass intended for Max Fisher. Dorner and Beach, the receivers to the near side, 4 right to the far. They'll go to Dorner, tipped and incomplete. Broken up on the play, a name that we've called quite a lot today. Guy Jenkins breaks it up. Third down and 10 for the Rams. This is kind of where the drive stalled out earlier.
And again, this is an offense that likes to attack space, but when you have that 3-3-5 look out of New Haven, you have athletes in that space. So those windows are going to get even tighter. It's going to be difficult to try to squeeze those passes in there.
Foray and Beach, the receivers to the near side. Brian Walker is the up man in the backfield with Ronnie Brown in the backfield to the left of Bajent. Bajent looking to throw. Dorner, the receiver to the far side. Bajent under some heat. Gets tackled short of the sticks. Good job by that New Haven defensive line. Bringing him down on the play was Joe Vitale. But it started really with that initial pressure from Jack Quander off the edge, and that will bring up a fourth down. And they will attempt a Haney field goal. It'll be about a 33-yarder.
They're in the smack dab middle of the field, so you're not going to get much better look than this.
Haney's kick is up, and it is good. So our score, Shepherd 10, New Haven 6, 11:38 to go in this third quarter. Let's take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Back to Rams Stadium, 10-6 our score. Haney good on the field goal to extend the Rams' lead out to 10-6 with 11:38 to go in this third quarter. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Spencer Dupuy, our on-site producer. Matt and Daryl Miller on cameras up top. In the end zone is Braden Schaffner. And on the sidelines running a camera and doing our sideline reports is Dylan Bishop. Back in the studio is Colin McLaughlin, who you'll hear from not only after the game, but the game tonight. It will be Colin and Dylan on the call for Martinsburg Bulldogs football as the Dogs play host to Bridgeport in the second round of the WVSSAC football playoffs. Here's a kick to the up man and gets across the 30-yard line. It's a good field position here for New Haven and some exchanges there around 40-yard line. And a player injured on the play as well.
Looks like the return man was Cole Matastow, 6'2", 245-pound grad student. The Rams that time keeping the ball on the ground, kicked a squib along the carpet. The tight end able to pick up some good yards on the play, but then goes down in the middle of the field. And the Rams realizing that they're in a tight contest and a special teams play could be huge, and you have the ever-dangerous Terrell Ford back deep, so no reason to get cute. Keep that ball on the ground, even though you're going to give up good field position. Your defense has been pretty stingy today. So, again, you're just going to try to manage the game. Again, this is kind of an unusual situation that we see out of the Rams because a lot of times they are just straight up there in attack mode on offense, defense, and special teams. But today, you're going up against a quality opponent. Sometimes you need to go with the game management style, the game management approach where, you know what, we're going to take what the defense is going to give us. We're going to take those points and opportunities as they come, and we're just going to play it safe on special teams. I can't blame them for that. This is playoff football. You got to do what you got to do to survive in advance.
I was trying to see what the score of the Jefferson-Huntington game was since that one it just kicked off. So it's only 1:33. I'm thinking it's later in the day for some reason. I'm like, why hasn't there been a score update?
It has that feel. It does have that feel.
But it's only 1:33, and it just kicked off at 1:30. But your Cougars going for a big upset there, Travis, on the road after getting one over Spring Valley last week. Pass falls incomplete here on the near side.
Hey, Jefferson High School, my alma mater, class of 98.
Represent. Trying to reach the semifinals for, I believe, the first time in school history. So that would be quite the achievement for head coach Craig Hunter and the Cougars. I think that same trip to Huntington should have just stayed down there is what I joked on the way back from IUP. But here's Degenhart throwing. Incomplete. Dante Harrison nearly jumped the route, and Mr. Touchdown wanted another one.
And that was the thing. New Haven went to that all-hitch look several times in the first half. Now you see the defensive coordinator for Shepherd. We talked about those adjustments. That's an adjustment. They realize that they're not going to try to attack us too deep. Not so much that they don't have the speed to do it, but it's the time. When you go downfield and you have those long developing routes, that's just going to give Kyle Smith and Malik Holloway that much more time to get to the quarterback. So you stick with the short stuff underneath, and now the defensive backs are starting to ratchet things up. Now they're going to start making plays on those hitches.
3rd down and 2 from the 32. Degenhart this time has time and wants a deep shot down the middle of the field and incomplete. Good coverage on the play intended for Dev Holmes. Holmes kind of reminds you of like a Deshaun Jackson type. Like really he's just mainly a deep ball threat, but he can make a lot of plays on those passes.
He's going to take the top off the defense, and you see the way that Degenhart throws in the ball. He's just kind of rearing back and throwing the ball as far as he can because it's going to be rare that you overthrow a wide receiver like Holmes. But that time, good defense by the Rams. There were a couple of Rams defenders in the area. And Degenhart, that's probably about as pretty as incompletion as you're going to see. The big 6'6" quarterback just throwing a strike right down the middle of the field, but not connecting to his speedy wide receiver.
You overthrew him earlier when he had a man deep. And Holmes was open for what would have been a touchdown. But, again, Shepherd gets good pressure on the punt return, and Rodney Dorsey lets it go over his head. It will bounce inside the 25, right around the 20 where it gets spotted, and that's where Shepherd takes over.
You see Dorsey kind of disappointed with himself as he walks off to the sideline. But, again, it's a situation that's just, do you really want to risk it? I mean, you have an offense that doesn't have problems moving the ball or scoring points, and you have this funky rugby punt coming at you. It's no spin on it. It's dancing around like a knuckleball, so why risk it? You're looking into the sun. Get away from the football. Let your Harlan Hill winner go out there and orchestrate something on the offensive side of the ball. You're giving up field position, but you certainly don't want to give up possession of the football trying to make a play on a difficult punt.
But today the offense has not been there for Shepherd. Just 10 points on the board, but do have the lead. Here's Ronnie Brown running into his own lineman before he's brought down on the play.
Like Big Stilly. Kind of like bumper cars in there. Got pushed back into Ronnie Brown, and Ronnie Brown's good at shaking his defenders, but not so much when those big linemen get knocked back into him. Because you're really not looking at it. It's a weird effect when you step out on the field where you really don't see your teammates. You're more concentrated on the defenders trying to tackle you, and that time just the big hit was supplied by Still. That might be our collision of the game. That's our first nominee right there.
It's a fair point there, Travis. Is Bagent looking to throw? Throws complete to Brian Walker. Walker tackled on the play, short of the sticks. Or no, he's at the first down marker right there at the sticks for another Shepherd first down.
Good patience that time by Tyson Bagent. Was looking to get outside of the pocket, has shown the athleticism to extend plays and also pull the ball down and run it himself, but Walker, also a savvy veteran, finding the empty spot in his own, setting down, showing the quarterback his numbers, and Bagent able to deliver a strike over the middle for the first down.
Bagent this time will go Ronnie Brown. Brown gets a hole off that right side. Ronnie Brown into the secondary and out across the 40-yard line. Just short of the first down marker.
I know we just gush over Ronnie Brown, but he deserves it, man. He's just electric with the ball in his hands. He just makes difficult plays look effortless. He was just able to bounce it outside, and it really didn't even look like he kind of dropped it in the fifth on that one. He was just kind of coasting out of bounds to pick up a big 6-yard chunk on first down.
I mean, he is the best player on offense other than Tyson Bagent.
Yeah.
So, in terms of skill positions. There's a pass complete to E.J. Morgan. Morgan scoring his first career touchdown a week ago. Heard from him in the pregame show as he makes the catch for the first down, Shepherd. And
there's a pile of bodies there in the middle of the field.
Looked like that was Miles in on that tackle. E.J. Morgan, though, a guy that's come off of 2 Achilles surgeries and has found a way to make an impact this season for Shepherd. Bagent in the shotgun formation with Ronnie Brown the back to his right. Dorner the receiver here to the near side, and Tyson looking to throw. Screen pass set up for the freshman Cam Dorner. Gets a block from Pelicano. Gets across midfield before he's tackled on the play by big number 93, Jason Trufner.
At that time, Joey Vitale had the assignment of guarding Walker on the play, and as Walker went outside, it looked like Vitale kind of slid off of him, got lost in space, but Walker did a good job of going downfield, getting that block to free up the wide receiver, so Walker just showing all aspects of his game here in the second half.
Second down and 3 for the Rams. 8:22 to go in the third. They'll go Ronnie Brown. Brown sheds off one tackler. This could be trouble. Brown inside the 30-yard line in the foot race, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Shepherd.
Huge hole off of that left side. Hats off to that Rams offensive line. Again, Chandler Brown, Wyatt Pelicano opened up a highway over there on that sideline. And Ronnie Brown, you don't need to give him much space, but you give him that kind of space, he's able to make a play, and that's just a tough assignment. Devontae Miles did his best to try to run him down, but not too many guys that got wheels like that can track down Ronnie Brown from behind.
And Ronnie Brown with the Jordan shrug on his way to the sideline. Just too fast. Just too good. 16-6. Extra point coming here from Jacob Haney to try to extend the Rams' lead. It is up. It's, again, kind of wobbly and no good.
It was a low snap and
kind of an awkward hold.
Yeah, it was a low snap. He had a hard time trying to dig it out of the turf, and you could tell when the ball was shot straight up in the air like that the kicker wasn't able to get a good foot on it. And, again, just some odd special teams play so far for both ball clubs.
So that keeps it at only a 10-point game, extra or a field goal and a touchdown, but kicking has obviously been an issue for both sides here today with the score 16-6. We will take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
I picked Shepherd University because I'm not just a number.
One of the things that surprised me is how friendly everyone is.
I like being able to walk down the street and have the professors recognize me by name.
I'm constantly learning.
But it also has taught me so much about myself and about what I want to do with my future.
The location at Shepherd is amazing.
Cities like Washington, D.C., Baltimore are only about an hour and a half away.
You just got to see it. Once you see it, it just takes your heart.
Pros. Welcome you back here to Ram Stadium. Shepherd 16, New Haven 6, 8:13 to go in this third quarter. Ronnie Brown with his second touchdown run of the ball game. Here's the kickoff from Haney. It's a bouncer fielded around the 25-yard line and taken out to about the 20 or 34-yard line. Is Cobb on the return, laying the boom for Shepherd is Kelvin Mendez. So New Haven takes over, still very much in the ball game, Travis, but really since that first drive, it just seems like penalties keep hurting this team, and then some sacks, too, by Kyle Smith have taken what's been some decent drives and resulted in no points.
And those two things are connected because the penalties back you up, which means that you have to try to pass the ball more and you have to get further down the field, and that's going to take more time to get that play off, and that's only going to give more time for Smith or Holloway to make plays off the edge.
There's a big hit. I think it was Grantham coming over and laying it in on Ace. Dwayne Grantham just smacked him as he got held up around the line of scrimmage. It was a positive gain on the play of about 2. Second down and 8. They'll fake it to Ace this time, throw it in the flat, complete to Fernandez, who's inside the 40-yard line, or across the 40-yard line before stepping out of bounds around the 44. And that will move the chains for a first down.
And again, you just see the benefit of the running game. Even though you're running on first down, you don't get a lot. What it's going to do is slow that defense down, slow the defense down a little bit in the box, and it's going to set up your play action pass. And Fernandez has come up big so far for New Haven today. We knew what we had on the outside, but Fernandez has kind of been that pleasant surprise for the Chargers.
A lot of use of the flats, and here they go again to have Ace, the running back, pushed down of bounds by Grantham.
And again, the reason that they're throwing these, they got to get rid of the ball quick.
Yeah.
If you want to try to attack downfield, that's going to take time, and that only plays into the hands of those speedy edge rushers for that Rams defense. So you have to take the quick stuff, and you can kind of use those quick passes as an extension of your running game.
And Shepherd is kind of playing like a cover 2 look, or playing quite off the ball, especially on Holmes there. Look how much room Harrison's giving him on that far side. Jammed on the near side.
I'm saying no safety help over the top. You got to give him space.
Here's a throw from Degenhart, complete.
Good ball.
To Ford for a first down. Clayton Batten forcing him out of bounds, but another first down for New Haven, who's kept their composure on this drive, moved the ball into Shepherd territory, down by 10 at 16-6. About 6:18 to go in the third quarter. Ace is the back to the left of Degenhart.
Bit of a heavier look. They got a 2 tight end set in.
Degenhart will go play action. Looking deep down the field for the tight end, and incomplete. No pass interference call. Batted in coverage, intended for Kevin Folsch. Not the guy you typically go deep to if you're New Haven, but Folsch had a good matchup there, one-on-one with a corner, but Degenhart couldn't quite really give him a chance to make that catch.
Like you said, you had Ford and you had Holmes over on the far side of the field, so they're going to get a majority of the attention. You hope that tight end can slip out undetected. And again, you get that mismatch as far as size, and Batten did a good job of riding the defender, but most importantly, he got his head around and located the ball as to avoid the defensive pass interference.
Ace, the running back, and a big hole for Ace into the secondary. Has the first down. You've gone so many passes in a row. Shepherd kind of playing a more pass defense there, and that opens up the hole up the middle for Ace, and he has the first down for New Haven.
And Ace has been able to gash them a couple times up the middle.
That's what it was last week. A lot of up the middle runs, it seemed like, but more so on cutbacks toward the middle of the field from Adam Hauser for IUP. Here's Ace getting the carry this time. Shepard's there. Malik Holloway leading the charge for the Rams, along with Muley and Grantham.
Ace, the ball carrier, brought down near the line of scrimmage. Holloway leading the charge for Shepard. Gain of 1, second down.
Just a 1 yard gain on the play makes it second down and 9 for New Haven.
And again, not the big chunk that you wanted, but at least you stay ahead of the chains and you keep your offense on schedule when you go for those hard runs on first down.
Second down and 9 from the 26-yard line. Degenhart takes the snap, under some heat, avoids the sack, but the second time he's not able to avoid it. Got away from Bednarski, but he get away from Malik Holloway, who swallows him up for the sack.
And again, you see what New Haven they want to do. They want to try to attack downfield, go after those defensive backs, but it just takes time, and that's something that you don't have with that elite pass rush coming at you from that Rams front seven.
I mean, that is this passing attack for the most part. They've gone to the flats and underneath a lot today, but when you look at the numbers, Dev Holmes is a great example, 35 catches for over 700 yards. So it's a big play passing attack, but that just hasn't been there because Shepard's gotten that pass rush. 3rd and 17. The officials run in.
Timeout Rams.
That's interesting to see a timeout from Shepard on a 3rd down and 17, but maybe just didn't have the right defense out there. I don't know what the situation was, but
usually defensive coaches are extremely reluctant to burn timeouts. They usually want those timeouts in the bank in case the offense needs them late in the game, especially here in the second half. But like you mentioned, this is a nip-and-tuck game. The Rams are really taking a game-managing approach to today's contest. So they didn't get a matchup that they liked or some type of personnel or something that they noticed that they's like, we got to make this change. We got to burn this timeout and get our guys in better position, because as a coach, that's what you always want to do, is put your guys in the best position possible to be successful.
The Huntington Highlanders have grabbed an early 14-0 lead at home against Jefferson in the second round of the WVSSAC football playoffs. Trying to keep you updated on that one as much as we can, with that one kicking off at 1:30. As Highlanders grab the early 14-0 lead there. The winner of that game will play the winner of tonight's game that we'll have for you on TV 10, or I'm sorry, on WRNR TV on YouTube and the radio, between Martinsburg and Bridgeport. Here's a pass intercept. No, incomplete.
There was
should have been intercepted.
Yeah, there were 4 Rams over there that had a chance at
push-ups out there.
Yeah.
Is Dante Harrison. I believe the guy that had the best chance at it was McDowell there in the backfield, but pass falls incomplete. Clear miscommunication for New Haven, and they're going to punt.
There were no Chargers receivers anywhere in the area on that one.
You know, the Chargers and the Rams both play in Los Angeles, but they're not on the same team, even today, Travis. So here's a punt here for the New Haven Chargers. Try to flip the field on that awkward-looking punt, and Rodney Dorsey, though, does field it at around the 6.
And the punter switched it up a little bit, not as traditional rugby-style punt. You can see his toe going up, so you know he was looking to get more height on the ball as opposed to distance, and he pins that Rams offense down inside their own 10.
Yeah, maybe if Dorsey doesn't catch that one, it rolls into the end zone, but you never want to really risk it there.
So, and usually the rule of thumb is you put your heels on the 10, and if the ball goes over your head, you just let it go. But
maybe he's just tired of getting criticized for it.
I'm going to catch something today.
I'm going to catch these, and then nobody can necessarily blame me. It's just a good punt, Coach. Bajan in the shotgun formation. He'll hand it off to Ronnie Brown, who cuts it back. Brown gets some room off the near side. Good tackle by Burden in space.
Burton coming off of a big game last week versus Southern Connecticut. 6 tackles, 5 of those solo. Also had a tackle and a half for a loss and an interception in that ball game.
4-yard pickup makes it 2nd down and 6 for the Rams from the 11 of New Haven. New Haven coming up on 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. It's Shepherd 16, New Haven 6. Bajan with Brown the back. Dorner going in motion on that far side. Bajan looking to throw. Throws it in the flat, complete to Ronnie Brown, and Ronnie Brown was 1 block away from maybe scoring on that play. It would have been between him and Miles and who got to the sideline first, and it could have been dangerous. But
also Trajan Anderson in on that tackle. Again, very nice security blanket when you have somebody like Ronnie Brown that as your check down. He can take the most basic routine plays and turn them into big plays that turn into points.
So first down for Shepherd after the completion of Brown. Bajan, go play action, throw it in the flat. That time there's Brian Walker, who gets swallowed up on the play by numerous New Haven defenders. Fitzpatrick in there along with Miles for the tackle. It'll bring up 2nd down from the 21-yard line.
I'll tell you, Fitzpatrick and Miles have both been as good as advertised. Very physical defensive backs, not shy to come up and make plays in the run game and ball hawks in the passing game.
3-yard pickup, 2nd down and 7. Bajan handing to Ronnie Brown. Brown getting loose and into the secondary again goes Ronnie Brown for another Shepherd first down.
Again, big gaping holes that time running behind Ty Lucas and Joey Fisher off of that right side. And if Ronnie Brown's able to get through the line of scrimmage untouched, he's basically getting 5 yards down the field before anybody can make a play on him. That's going to be a very tall order for your defense to try to slow him down after that point.
Minute 15 to go in this third quarter. It's 16-6 Shepherd. First down and 10 for Bajan in the offense. Bajan hands to Ronnie Brown, and Brown again finding positive yardage off the right side.
And this is something that we talked about early on in the year when the Rams able to use this type of balance on the offensive side of the ball. There's going to be some days where your passing game just isn't going to be what you expect it to be week in and week out. And when you have that running game that you can lean on in a situation like this where you need to burn some clock, where you need to keep your defense off the field, it's just only to your advantage to have a running game like this for the Shepherd Rams.
3-yard pickup makes it 2nd and 7 from the 36. Final play probably of the third quarter, and Bajan will hand to Brown, and this time he's tackled on the play. Bring up a 3rd down and about 4 for Shepherd from their own 39. We'll see if, I don't think Shepherd has any reason to run a play here before the end of the third quarter, and they do not. They will trot off the field, leading 16-6 over New Haven. We will take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 30.
All right, pay attention. Welcome to Fandom 101. We'll cover the tools of the trade from foam fingers in the wave to the super secret wave. How's that for a course description? Lesson 1, your game starts long before the opening whistle, so arrive prepared. 2, if something piques your interest, raise your hand. And 3, work in groups. NCAA championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Get your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
We welcome you back to Rams Stadium. Shepherd leading against New Haven 16-6 as we begin this fourth quarter. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. 3rd down and 3 for Shepherd. Spencer Dupuy, our on-site producer. Matt Miller, Daryl Miller on camera along with Braden Schaffner. Dylan Bishop down there on the sidelines running camera as well. And giving us our sideline reports. And then back in the studio is Colin McLaughlin Shepherd has a 3rd down and 3. Ronnie Brown having a good day on the ground for the Rams. 2 touchdown runs. Help Shepherd build this 16-6 lead on the New Haven Chargers. 39-yard line of Shepherd. Dorner going in motion. Agent will throw on 3rd down. He'll throw to the outside, complete to E.J. Morgan, who gets the 1st down. Shepherd moves the chains. Morgan making another reception for the Rams, so that will move the ball to the 45-yard line on the 6-yard completion.
Like you mentioned last week, E.J. Morgan got his touchdown on the strength of 3 catches and 22 yards in action versus IUP last week. And with the injuries kind of taking out some of the stars out of that wide receiver rotation, Morgan is a nice veteran to have to be able to rely on.
Agent fakes it to Ronnie Brown. Throws a dart. Complete.
How did he get that in there?
I have no idea. But he finds E.J. Morgan.
I don't think E.J. Morgan had a choice to catch that ball. Either you're going to catch it with your hands or your chest cavity. He just buried that thing in there.
Doesn't Agent pitch at all in his high school days? Fastball, 94 miles an hour for Bajan.
Well, Travis was a pitcher here at Shepherd many moons ago.
Not too many. Don't age too many. Tyson Bajan in the shotgun. 1st down and 10 for the Rams from the 43. We go Ronnie Brown off the right side. Joey Fisher burying New Haven players.
They are just dominating up front.
Well, you have the size advantage, and you have a potential NFL prospect there in Fisher. Yeah, Ty Lucas, who's a really solid young right guard there. So those 2 guys are dominating, but also the left side probably doesn't get talked about enough. But Pelicano and Chandler Brown have done a nice job, along with Dalton Reiser, who rotates in a little bit there at left guard. And Adam Stilley, of course, the center, calls it all out for him. There's a completion to Brian Walker. Good hit by Miles at around the 35-yard line. Bring up a 3rd down for Shepherd.
It's kind of funny. You see defensive backs try to load up and put a big shot on Walker, and Walker just kind of just shrugs it off, gets back in the huddle, and the defensive back, they're over there usually on the sidelines counting fingers.
When you're 6'5", 240,
you're not worried about too much, yeah.
Walker usually the tallest guy on the field. 3rd down and 1. Play action, they'll throw to Max Fisher, who leaps up and has the 1st down completion for the Rams.
Good patience that time by Tyson Bajan. We had a perfect angle on that one.
Got a flag.
Showing a little bit of patience, waiting for that wide receiver to get into the 2nd window. It's going to be ineligible man downfield for Shepherd. That's one of the complications that you run into when you like to use that RPO style, because a lot of times the mentality is we're going to treat this like a run play, which means the quarterback has to, if he is going to throw it, has to get it out as quick as possible, where there's going to be a chance of an ineligible man down the field. Just one of the risks that you run relying on that RPO style of offense, because you're kind of playing in a gray area, and if you got an opposing coach that knows how to work the refs, he's certainly pointing that out at the beginning of the game, but keep an eye on ineligible man downfield, and you might be able to get yourself a penalty every now and again.
It's a penalty that wasn't seen a ton, 10 years ago, but now with so many teams running that RPO, you see it more and more, even on Sundays. 3rd down here for the Rams. Agent looking to throw on a 3rd and 6. Tyson with some time, rolling to the left, throws to Dorsey, complete.
And that was the chemistry that we were lacking last week between Dorsey and Bajan. Bajan rolling out to his left. It's going to be hard for him to get a little bit of pepper on the ball if he was going to take that deep shot. Dorsey, smart enough to realize that, pushes the defender downfield, then breaks back towards the sidelines, and Tyson Bajan certainly enough steam on the ball to hit that comeback on the home sidelines for the Rams offense. Again, you're just seeing the quarterback and wide receivers just getting more and more comfortable as today's game gets deeper and deeper.
Dorsey is another one of those receivers that's gone through some injuries, but has found a way to be productive when Shepherd's really needed him without Ronnie and Beach, I should say. Here's a flip to Dorner. Dorner trying to reverse field, and It's smacked at around the 30-yard line.
That was Truffner, and again on the tackle, 6'2", 295-pound senior defensive lineman from Patterson, New Jersey.
Shepherd's already burned over 4 minutes in this fourth quarter clock, coming up on 11 minutes to go in the fourth with the Rams up by 10 and driving. Loss of 3, though, on that play brings up a 2nd down and 13 from the 29-yard line. Bajan in the pistol formation with Ronnie Brown lined up behind him. Tyson Bajan throws underneath to Dorner. Dorner trying to make guys miss, but doesn't find much room. Forward progress, get him to the 30-yard line, so loss of 1 on that play. Not where you wanted to go here after you tried to get Dorner going in motion. And obviously a talented young receiver there. 3rd down and 14. It will be interesting to see how this offense looks with Malachi Brown, Ryan Beach, and Cam Dorner next season. Don't know who the quarterback will be, but you do have some good weapons around whoever ends up taking over that spot. Bajan in the shotgun formation here on a 3rd and 14 from the 30. Dyson steps up under some pressure from Quander. The ball came out. Joey Fisher tried to dive back on top of it.
He got it.
He did, and the Rams will keep possession, but will be forced to punt. It's another fumble for Bajan. That time he got hit from the blind side from Quander. And the Rams will punt it away. Ryan Barrick will kick. So this New Haven defense coming up big because you're down by 10. Another touchdown with under 10 minutes to go would probably put this one away, but instead they come up with a stop, and Ryan Barrick punts it. Bounces into the end zone. Not what you wanted there. A touchback will set up New Haven with pretty good field position.
New Haven, that bend but don't break mentality on the defensive side of the ball. And as Shepherd gets closer and closer to the goal line, that's just less and less area that defense has to worry about. So it's to their advantage once they get closer to the goal line, because they know that the Rams like to use space, like to use those athletes. But those windows get that much tighter once you get down that close to the red zone, and it just kind of speeds up the clock of the offense. And a good job up front that time by that Chargers defense, just using stunts and just relentless pressure to able to get after the quarterback that time.
And it's odd to see, as here's a pass complete short of the sticks. Baden making the tackle, Holmes in on the reception, but it's odd to see Shepherd have these drives where they get into the other team's territory and don't really do much with it. We kind of saw that early in the year, Travis, but it seemed like as the season went on, the Rams were finishing drives, and they haven't really done that in the past 2 weeks. Here's Dagenhart looking to throw for Holmes, and he tries to make a contested catch. Both guys kind of fighting back and forth with the hands, and Baden wins the battle.
And a little bit more on that Rams offense coming into today's game. Extremely efficient in the red zone, usually coming away with points 77% of the time. So like you mentioned, very rare that you see this Rams offense not able to come away with something once they get down that close, but it's a credit to that Chargers defense, and also the Rams looking to change the pace a little bit, looking to manage the game a little bit more as opposed to going just striking at the end zone.
3rd down and 5. Dagenhart throwing in the flat. That was very dangerous. And Elio Pena was breaking on that pass, and if it stays up in the air another second, that's an interception and probably a pick 6 for Pena, but instead it's a punt here for New Haven. So the Shepherd defense comes through with a stop following a New Haven stop, and the Rams should get good field position here as Rodney Dorsey runs back to return this punt.
You're just getting to the point in the game where something's got to give, because you're going to have to take deep shots down the field, but what are you going to do to try to mitigate that pressure that you're going to get from that Rams defensive front? And right now, Chargers offense having trouble coming up with answers to that question.
Yeah, they don't have an answer to that question as of right now. Rodney Dorsey will fair catch, and the Rams will get it around the 37-yard line. And it's interesting you mentioned his offensive numbers. Shepherd averaging over 40 points a game. New Haven averages over 36 points a game. So we expected probably a pretty high-scoring game here today, but it's 16-6 with 8:32 to go in the fourth quarter, and there's no rain or anything. It's just good defense between these two teams.
Absolutely, and again, just they're playing to their strengths. The Rams wide receiving core not operating at 100%, and New Haven, they're not making any excuses. They're out there making plays, too. At this point in the season, everybody's banged up, so it's all going to come down to who's going to be able to step out there and make plays.
Blake Hartman is the back, and Hartman gets the carry. He runs off across the 40-yard line off the left side. And the touchdowns today for Shepherd coming on long runs. Typically what we see are long drives this season for the Rams and kind of shorter touchdowns, but Ronnie Brown has 2 big long touchdown runs. Haven't really seen that since Cal PA Edinburgh early in the year when, Ronnie Brown, as we say, is always a threat to score when the ball's in his hands. 2nd down and 5 for the Rams here. Bajent goes play action, throws incomplete, intended for Ronnie Dorsey, and the flag comes in. It was a great throw by the official.
Yeah, nice overhand delivery right there.
You got to love that flag that just comes soaring in.
Majestic.
So we'll get the official call, but we know it's pass interference here. So I don't even know if they're going to announce it.
And that's tough. The defenders just trying to make a play from behind the wide receiver, and it was just either you make the catch or hopefully you try to time it out where you get to the wide receiver as the ball gets there, but that time just got there a little bit too soon for the referee's liking. And like we mentioned, these PSAC officials, they let those wide receivers and defensive backs get at it a little bit. They try not to intervene too much as far as offensive and or defensive pass interference.
Well, since it is playoffs, I'm not certain if this is a PSAC crew or not, but I don't know how exactly it works in Division II with the officials, but that'd be something to look into. Bajent under some pressure, and he'll slide down around the 44-yard line, and the player here hurt in the backfield because typically, at least in Division I, like when you have the bowl games and like Pac-12 versus Big Ten and the Rose Bowl, you'll get like SEC officiating crew, so there's no bias there. So I would think that's probably not PSAC officials, but who knows? Because Division II, obviously, you're not paying those officials as much as you're paying them in Division I.
You want the guys that are close by.
Yeah, you want the guys that obviously live in the areas. Player injured on the play was Quander, but he's able to walk off on his own power. Jack Quander, the senior defensive lineman, already making an impact on this game. Got a sack fumble earlier that Shepherd did recover on that last drive. Avon Holly's the back here on 2nd down and 8 for the Rams. Walker, the tight end, in the ball game, along with Fisher and Morgan, the receivers to that far side. Marlon Cook without a catch today, the receiver that near, and they'll throw the far side complete to Max Fisher. Fisher down to about the 36-yard line before he's tackled on the play. Fitzpatrick over there along with Jenkins. It's a 1st down, Shepherd.
Just shows you the arm strength that time by Tyson Bajent. He took a big hit from Burton that time, but still able to deliver a strike to that far sideline to pick up a 1st down for the Rams offense.
Interesting to see Avon Holly in the ball game.
He's a bigger body. You've been pounding on him all game, so this is when you want to go to your bigger running backs here late in the game and see if you can break something long.
We did see him get some first-team reps in pregame, as here's a pass incomplete intended for Max Fisher, but it bounces short of Fisher. Etienne in coverage will bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Rams.
Sometimes on those shorter passes, the wide receivers, they've got to work back to the ball, and that time looks like Fisher kind of lost his footing, but you need to work back on those short passes, try to catch it on the run, and that way maybe you can get that defensive back out of position. You can get back out on the sidelines, but one of the few miscues in the passing game so far today for the Rams.
Avon Holly, the back in the backfield. Bajent will throw to Max Fisher complete inside the 35-yard line before he's tackled on the play.
Interesting formation that time.
Yeah, I haven't really seen that this season.
But I have a feel that that's a setup for something coming on later on. You show that formation, you throw a quick pass. Now the defense is going to recognize it the next time you come out, but maybe you put in a wrinkle where one of those wide receivers that blocked the previous time slips downfield for a deep strike, and that's something that the Rams have been able to have success with throughout this year, is showing something short early on, but then throwing that slip later on in the game to charge you for a big play.
3rd and 4 for the Rams. 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Shepherd up by 10. Bagent hands it off to Avon Holly, who spins out of a tackle, gets inside the 30, and now a flag comes in from the official. This is most likely a hold, and it is a hold against the Rams. It will still be 4th down, but Shepherd's in position where it's probably going to go for it, so you accept this penalty if you're New Haven. I don't know. Okay, what do I know? Shepherd's going to go for it here, though, so I'm accepting this.
And why not? Because your defense has been stout so far today, and other than that first drive, New Haven really hasn't threatened you. So why not keep the ball in your offensive hands? Maybe you can make a big play and extend this lead, or at the very least, eat up some more clock.
It is tough. 4th and 4 or 3rd and 9. 2 chances for Shepherd to get a first down, 1 chance, I guess, is what you're looking at. If you're New Haven, they'll throw it underneath to Rodney Dorsey, and New Haven gets the stop, and that is your collision of the game right there by Burden. Suplex, or whatever you want to call it there.
Anya Mem coming up.
Yeah, coming up and hitting him.
Yep, David Anya Mem. That's certainly going to be my big hit of the game.
Look more like a backbreaker than a suplex, maybe. Triple H style.
There you go. See a nice blast double on that play.
5.5 minutes to go. New Haven gets the stops. We'll see what the Chargers have left in the tank. Down 16-6. Degenhart looking to throws high and complete. Dwayne Grantham comes up, lays the boom on a nice catch there by Terrell Ford. 2nd down and 5 after the 5-yard pickup for the Chargers, who are quickly on the ball. Can't really run it at this point. Seems like Ace was kind of their go-to guy early, but they haven't gotten him involved a ton. It's been a very pass-happy day for this offense. There's a completion underneath to Flausch, who makes the catch. Degenhart took a hit. The 6'6 QB stands in, delivers a strike underneath.
I'm surprised we haven't seen him run the ball more than what he has today. They've shown a lot of that zone read look, and again, like you mentioned, not really a situation for it this late in the game, being down by 10. But kind of surprised that he didn't use his legs a little bit more today.
Yeah, because typically you see a 6'6 quarterback and you think he's not a runner.
Yeah.
But Degenhart does have that ability. Kyle Smith trying to get his 3rd sack of the day. Degenhart escapes, throws into double coverage, and completes it for a first down.
Ask and you shall receive. Degenhart able to extend the play with his legs that time and throw a strike down the field. Who was that, Ford on the reception?
Ford again with another reception for a first down. 4.5 minutes ago. New Haven has brought new life to the football game. Ball now on the 37-yard line. Degenhart and the offense, the grad senior, trying to lead this team back into this ball game. Down by 10. Degenhart with time throws high and incomplete. Intended for Ford again, but it fell incomplete. 4:10 to go. Plenty of time in this one. You do have all 3 timeouts if you are New Haven. Shepherd burnt that timeout on defense earlier. We'll see if that plays any sort of impact in this ball game. 2nd down and 10 for the Chargers from the Rams 37-yard line. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far on this 2nd down. Degenhart looking to throw again. Holloway providing some pressure. Degenhart will look to run and gets hit around the 30-yard line by Muley along with Madden, a player down on the play for Shepherd and Kyle Smith. It's 3rd down. Smith is all right. So stay on the field. Yeah. Under 4 minutes to go. Shepherd wanting a hold.
At this point in the game, it's going to take wild horses to get Kyle Smith off the field. As toughest competitors you're going to find.
And looks like we'll have a timeout. Spencer let me know that both defensive ends were held, and I would tend to agree. but
as they say, there's holding on every play.
That's true, yeah. If it's holding within the shoulder pads, they usually don't call it. So, 3rd down and 2 for Degenhart and the offense. Under pressure, throw underneath and incomplete. I think they kind of wanted the pressure there, but couldn't quite put it on. It looked like a screen pass intended for the tight end, Kevin Folsch, but it fell incomplete. Great blitz there from the linebacker.
He timed it up nicely. It's something where New Haven's going to have to try to switch up that snap count, trying to do all the little things that you can to slow down that pass rush. But like you mentioned, Devin Lynch just timed it up perfectly in the quarterback's face, and the plane kind of blew up with that.
4th and 2. One of the few remaining opportunities for New Haven to get back into this thing. Degenhart looking deep down the near sideline for Holmes, and he's going to draw a pass interference. Dante Harrison, the man in coverage. Holmes did a good job. I mean, I think it was definitely pass interference, but I think his extra kind of effort to sell it a little bit too to the officials, stick that hand out there. Definitely pass interference, but a good job, I think, by the receiver too, because sometimes if you don't sell it, they won't call it. And that will result in a 1st down and keep the drive alive for New Haven. It's a tough matchup for Dante Harrison there on the outside. Young corner to be matched up one-on-one with a crafty veteran and Holmes, Dev Holmes.
And one of the few times that Degenhart actually had time to set up in the pocket and go for something deep downfield.
So 3:20 to go. It is 16-6. New Haven took the opening drive of the ball game, went right down the field to the goal line before Degenhart was able to sneak in on a 4th and goal. Since then, haven't really been in this opportunity. Inside the 15-yard line, missed the PAT and then have remained scoreless. The 16 unanswered from Shepherd. Degenhart looking to run the ball with Ace, and Ace gets a hole up the middle, finds some room down inside the 10. Got to go quickly, though, on the ball if you're going to run in that situation. Fernandez checking into the ball game. The big tight end checks out.
Just a good old-fashioned trap play up inside, and you've been spreading out the defense all day with formations and passing. And why not get the ball in your running back's hands? Maybe you can pop off a quick run inside, but again, you're not backing yourself up into a 2nd and long or 3rd and long situation.
2nd and 5 from the 8-yard line. Degenhart throws a floater and incomplete. Could have been dangerous there. Batten was breaking on it quickly to the outside edge. And it's incomplete. 3rd down and 5 now for New Haven. That big missed extra point from Jacob Haney plays a factor here, Travis, because New Haven can settle for a field goal and be right in it at a 7-point game. Your field goal unit hasn't been super reliable. You've only attempted 4 of them, and your long is 32, but you'd be in range for your kicker here. On a 3rd and 5, though, your goal is obviously 1st down and touchdown still at this point, and a flag comes in. That will really hurt.
Yeah, that was a change at that right tackle on the previous play. Looked like John Terrell came out. He was limping a bit coming off the field. And then Neil Brown was able to check back into the game over the right tackle position. And the young man coming in cold off the bench in a hotly contested game in the 4th quarter. And naturally, you're going to jump off sides a little bit. And when you're looking at a defensive end like Malik Holloway, that's enough to make anybody a little bit skittish.
Yeah, especially with how those defensive ends have gotten after the passer today. And Holloway along with Kyle Smith. So 3rd and 10 now for the Chargers with 2:47 to go in this 4th quarter. 16-6 our score. Degenhart, the pressure comes from Smith. He throws and finds a tight window inside the 5-yard line. Should be a 1st down and goal for the Chargers.
They got to run something from the line.
Ford makes the catch.
So the clock's going to stop on a 1st down, but the Chargers have got to be in position, ready to run this play as soon as that referee blows the whistle. Can't afford to waste any time. They still got 3 timeouts, but they're going to have to use those here. They plan to get back into this game.
Holmes is the receiver to the bottom of your screen. Degenhart takes the snap. Throws toward the end zone, incomplete. He wanted the tight end, Flausch, but it fell incomplete, and we got a holding call going against New Haven, I believe. That's another big penalty. Only 2:20 to go in this game. Wait for the official's call.
Oh,
no, hands to the face. I did see that Xavier Bryson was walking without a helmet. So I figured something had to have happened involving him, and it was a hands to the face going up against Shepherd. So it will remain first and goal. They'll move it to the 3-yard line. 2:20 to go. You had but with the helmet coming off, that does mean you, I believe, have to make a substitution, unless since it was forced off by the defender. I don't know. But I believe you would have to make a substitution here, so that means that Bryson checks out, and Justin Petzold checks in. I formation. Do we see the sneak again? At this point, I don't know. We'll see. Degenhart throws into the flat, caught, touchdown, New Haven.
He had to get his hands extended on that play. Don DiLorenzo, the senior tight end from Kennebunkport, Maine, was able to corral it and reach out, and he hit the pylon.
It wasn't Michael McCook. He makes it look a little bit more smoother than that, but it's a touchdown.
You know, not everybody can beat McCook down towards the goal line.
It wasn't the best throw from the quarterback, Degenhart, but it worked out for a touchdown. So, doesn't have to be pretty. Just has to work for 6, and it's 16-12. There is a Shepherd Ram down. Trying to tell exactly who that is. It looks like Solomon Alexander. Number 0 down on the field for Shepherd. No, it's Kyle Smith. Okay, I wasn't certain there because the sun kind of made it look like a 0. Initially, I did think it was Smith, but we know, as you said earlier, he's a warrior. He's going to continue to fight unless it is something that he cannot play through. 16-12, and he was able to walk off on his own power. So here's an extra point attempt from DeSimone, who missed earlier. This one didn't look great either, but it is good.
That thing was a sidewinder now.
So we're in a 3-point game where neither team's kicker has been super reliable in this ball game. 2:15 to go. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
All right, pay attention. Welcome to Fandom 101. We'll cover the tools of the trade from foam fingers in the wave to the super secret wave. How's that for a course description? Lesson 1, your game starts long before the opening whistle, so arrive prepared. 2, if something piques your interest, raise your hand. And 3, work in groups. NCAA championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Get your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
We welcome you back to Rams Stadium. Shepherd leading 16-13. 2:15 to go. All 3 timeouts remain with New Haven. So, Travis, how you playing this one? If you're New Haven, I think you have to kick it away based on what we've seen from the defense, but there's always, of course, in this situation, maybe you don't, because you do know that you'd be giving the ball to Shepherd. So maybe you attempt the onside kick, and then worst case scenario, you hope for your defense still with 3 timeouts. At least I think you maybe kick it on the ground and see if you can get something lucky.
But very difficult to recover an onside kick when an onside kick is expected.
It's true, and only Ronnie Brown is back deep.
So maybe you try to kick some type of blooper over that front line, maybe get a funny bounce and come up with it, but your defense has been pretty stingy today. Not giving them much, like you said, still 3 timeouts. So maybe you just kick it deep and hope your defense can pull you out of the fire.
And it is what they like to do, but it's an awkward kick. It's going to head out of bounds, so that really hurts because that's a penalty, which will get it around the 40-yard line for New Haven, for Shepherd after the penalty there on the kick. Besides flipping the field, though, you need a 3 and out either way to win the ball game. So field position, while it's important, it's not the end of the world, I think, there necessarily. 2:15, you got 3 timeouts, 35-yard line. You'd much rather have that than Ronnie Brown take it back for a touchdown.
Absolutely.
It's only a 10-yard difference from what you would have kicked it out of bounds.
But again, I understand the frustration of the New Haven coaches. Like, you have an entire football field to kick the ball.
Yeah.
Keep it in bounds. And again, it's just been odd plays for the kicking game for both teams today.
Ronnie Brown is the running back. First down and 10. 2:15 to go. Shepherd leads by 3 at 16-13 over New Haven. Bajent will give it to Ronnie Brown up the middle, and he finds a little bit of room, but then quickly that New Haven defense flies to the football. Now we'll bring up a timeout for New Haven with 2:08 remaining. Second down after a 3-yard pickup, be about 2nd and 7 for New Haven from the 37. Actually give them out 2 yards, so 2nd down and 8.
And this timeout's going to give the Shepherd Rams a lot to think about. Do you keep it on the ground and force New Haven to burn those timeouts? Or do you recognize that they're probably going to be loading up the box trying to shut down that run? Do you attempt maybe passing the ball and maybe try to break through that log jam and get a big play and get that first down? And at that point, it's pretty much game, set, match. So that's why those coaches get paid the big bucks.
Yeah, I'm not certain. I think with the kicking game being the way it is, knowing that it would take probably like a 20-yard field goal, 20 to 30-yard field goal that they'd have to get, I think you try to burn all those timeouts. But I don't know. I mean, you do have the best player in the nation in that quarterback, but Ronnie Brown's not too far behind if you were to rank at least PSAC players. Agent will throw it. It's tipped. That's why you don't throw the ball, because it could have been intercepted, and you give a free timeout here to New Haven. But if it doesn't get tipped, you probably get the first down, presuming Bajent's target was open there, and I believe it was Cook who he was trying to get it to. 3rd down and 8. I think now you have to throw.
Yeah, and again, you risk stopping the clock again, and New Haven have an opportunity to get the ball back with 2 timeouts in their pocket.
Bajent can put this one away with a few first downs. Tyson under some pressure, throws down the middle of the field for Rodney Dorsey, who makes the catch inside the 25. What a job by Bajent to avoid the pass rushers. And then Rodney Dorsey, who had a tough week in the PSAC championship game. He dropped a few passes, dropped a pass that led to an interception on a deflection. And on 3rd down and 8, Bajent connects with Dorsey and pretty much puts this one away. What a job on both ends. That's why you do trust number 2 to make those plays, because he's one of the few guys that could probably make
just
it.
Tremendous pocket awareness, like you mentioned. Pressure coming from all sides. He's able to step up into the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield, and able to deliver a strike to Rodney Dorsey over the middle, and a great opportunity for him to get back into the good graces of that Rams offense.
We'll run it with Ronnie Brown up the middle. And he continues to have a great day on the ground for Shepherd. Tyson Bajent with one of those just plays where there's pressure, but with Bajent it's almost like there's never pressure. You just kind of feel good about whatever he's going to do with the ball.
You're going to trust him with the ball in his hands.
Timeout taken by New Haven. 1:14 to go in this 4th quarter. Shepherd leads by 3. There's 1 timeout remaining. Should be 2nd down. Scoreboard still reading 1st down, but it should be 2nd and about 3 or 4. Tough for us to kind of tell on this angle. But either way, Shepherd can at least get points here probably on this drive, but with 1 timeout, I think there's still a chance that New Haven gets the ball back, but not a ton of time. 1:14 on the clock. You got 3 more plays for Shepherd. So maybe just barely. Any time remaining when they get it back. That's presuming, of course, that Shepherd doesn't get a first down. If Shepherd gets a first down, it's completely over. So second down here from the 14-yard line. Ronnie Brown is the back, lined up behind Bajent. Max Fisher going in motion. Will go Ronnie Brown again. Brown spins out of a couple of tackles. And that's the first down, and that's the ball game. Have to run a few more plays in terms of kneel downs, but Shepherd is going to advance.
And at this point in the season, that's what it's all about. It's not as pretty as an offensive game that you would hope for out of that Rams unit, but they do enough to secure the win, and that's all you got to do in the playoffs, survive in advance.
And a great football team finds a way to win in different ways, and Shepherd did that here today. The defense in the running game was really what you had to rely on. As Bajent takes the knee, and you find a way to win a 16-13 game. If you would have told me Shepherd only scored 16 points, I would have said they would have lost.
Yeah.
Because just traditionally, that's not what you expect, but the defense has been really good this year. They've made a lot of progress from last year to this year defensively, as New Haven will burn that final timeout. And you can trust them to only give up 13 points and 16 be enough, as they proved today. And if Shepherd's going to win the region again, these are the kind of games you got to find ways to win.
Absolutely, and again, that running game plays a huge part in that, plays a huge part in the defense playing the way that they're able to play, chewing up clock, winning games ugly, and that's what you're going to be able to do. Sometimes the passing game, for whatever reason, it might not be there. Maybe you got guys out. Maybe you're playing in inclement weather, but that running game is something that you can rely on week in and week out. A running game always travels. And that's something that the Rams have shown throughout this season, that when they're a balanced ball club, they are a tough team to beat.
So, final play of the game as the two teams line up at midfield. We'll keep it here until Dylan is able to get the head man of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook, who was named the PSAC East Coach of the Year for the first time in his career this past week. And she kind of deflected as, well, it's a team achievement. Spencer wants a break, so we're going to take a break. And then we'll go into the post-game show, which will be a separate stream for those of you watching on YouTube. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10.
College sports fans, get ready for game day with officially licensed merchandise from the NCAA official online shop, ncaa.com/shop. Get the whole family geared up with the best collection of apparel and accessories, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, headwear, championship gear, and more. Visit the NCAA shop for today's special offer and rep your favorite team now. Only at ncaa.com/shop.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA consent